My office has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
Direct savings and client focus, the cornerstones of the Diamond Dave philosophy.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave Cantor. My team and I at Desert Wholesale Diamond can be your trusted friends with an inside scoop on the diamond world.
Just like they are to thousands of people around the world.
And just like we have been for over 34 years.
At Diamond Dave's, it's all about the diamonds and the savings, not paying for high-end retail locations or the overhead of a mall.
You stand to save big time with our by-appointment professional office approach combined with direct importing.
When you choose Diamond Dave's, you choose huge savings, top quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 3 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow, but we got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Hooray! Suns win last night. Yeah, okay. I couldn't watch. Tried to watch. The hell's up with them floors? Can't do it. It's like an acid trip. It's like, I don't even do drugs. I'm having like an acid trip. I'm like, wow, man, I can't do it.
Most of them are better than last year, but the ones that are really blue,
those are hard to look at. But just don't. Why?
The Magic, the Thunder.
Why do they have to do? You don't have to do this. Just stop. We don't need cosmic bowling. It's just basketball.
That's true.
Just play the damn game. And now at least that's what the Suns did. And they about lost the damn game.
I don't know that that's the
No, I
case.
know. I'm just
I
kidding.
was like, wait,
They
did
were
we-
ahead like the
like,
entire
did
time.
we
I'm
watch the same game?
No, I just wanted to see if people are paying attention. No, it was as expected, and they were up by double digits pretty much the entire way, and nothing to report there. Nothing interesting happened. Wasn't like Klay Thompson showing up to play against the Warriors. Boy, did he not learn anything in his entire time playing with Steph Curry? Because I feel like he didn't. I feel like he didn't.
What should he have learned?
Well, don't taunt Steph Curry, for one. Don't do his shimmy. Don't do that to him on his own court, because you're going to piss him off. And you kind of did. And he's like, oh, really? You want to play? Bam!
But I don't think that happened because
Steph went nuts.
I don't think that happened because he did the shimmy.
I think it is.
No, because they're still close. They
Oh
hug
yeah,
each
they
other
can be
after the game
friends,
and all
but
that.
still be like, oh really? You want? Okay. You
But
think
no, it's-
that Randy or I would not take at least a lot of joy dunking on each other if one starts it? If your brother starts it, do you not enjoy humiliating him if you have the means to do so?
I
Of course.
guess, but I think the reason why Steph played at the level that he did was Clay was not leaving that building with a win. Period. Shimmy, no shimmy, none of that would have mattered. You're not leaving. This is our house, and you're not us anymore. You're
But there
them.
was a lot more resolve after the shimmy. There was a lot more of that. I mean, yes, we got to win this game. Then after the shimmy, oh hell no. That's what showed up was the hell no. And don't act like it didn't go off. Don't act like he did not go nuts.
He did, but I don't think that was because of the shimmy. I
disagree.
I don't think that caused Steph Curry to raise his game to another level. They needed him to do that to win the game, and they won the game.
No, it's totally the shimmy. Totally
Okay.
the shimmy. Set a fire off on Steph Curry. You don't do that. You just don't. Not if you.
If you're playing with your friends, man, and that's what that was for them. Like clearly, it was not. It wasn't anything mean spirited or anything like
No,
that.
nobody said it was mean.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like
competitive fun.
because
But
when people have taunted Steph before, there has been that mean spirited. That's not it. When Steph has buried people in the past, that stuff was personal. This wasn't personal. It didn't feel personal when I was watching it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing that differently.
Well, here's the thing: you can still love the guy. You can still, care about the person.
I
But
just
when
don't think that
when they do that, it's like, guess what's happening now? Blam! That's what
I
happened.
think the celebrations get crazier after that. But I don't. If Klay Thompson doesn't do the shimmy, Steph is still killing you. He's just not celebrating as hard afterwards. He's not putting you to sleep like he normally does. He's still beating you because you're not us. Steph played more minutes than he usually plays in the game. And they needed all of those minutes for Steph and the Warriors to win that game because they weren't going to let Klay Thompson go back into that arena and walk away with a W.
I think you need to accept the fact that we can both be right. Everything you said about what needed to happen for them to get the win, sure. But I guarantee you, the big brother, little brother, however you want to, decide how this relationship goes, it was absolutely part of what happened there. Absolutely part of it. You can't convince me otherwise.
Okay.
Bat Flipper says, I'm ready for Steph equals magic. Devil Hawk says, so everyone laughed at Odell Beckham Jr. in 2021 for taking his $750,000 salary with the LA Rams in Bitcoin. Well, now that $750,000 is worth $1.1 million and increasing in value. You think he didn't spend it already?
Yeah, he had. I mean, if you think that he was sitting on it this entire time, but that was his salary. It's not his savings.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me he wasn't using it in the entire time that caved out?
So maybe he made $260,000 more had he not spent it. And there's just a Bitcoins. How many Bitcoins is that? I don't know. If there's some Bitcoins sitting around somewhere, but this does not strike me as a guy who doesn't spend his money. This is not a guy who's, letting the wealth grow, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, maybe he left all of that money in that wallet, but
maybe
if it was anybody else, I might actually believe that. It's Odell.
Big George says, hello, gentlemen. He says, Suns held on to beat the lowly Utah Jazz 1-0 in the highly sought-after in-season tournament championship. The Suns may be hanging a championship banner this season. God, I hope not. Please don't do that. If you win, this is the biggest flex on LA. Don't hang it. Don't hang it.
I wouldn't, but I think they will.
Put it up in your practice facility.
But I think the league wants to. So.
And then it goes in the practice facility. Or it goes somewhere like behind a scoreboard. It's somewhere just you gotta make a point here. This is pointless. There's nothingness.
But that's what you believe. I don't think that the organization believes that, because I think the NBA is incentivizing teams to take this more seriously than we are.
Beer Bob, by the way, when I said Randy and I dunking on each other, he says, I love how Jeffrey compares Clay and Curry's competition last night to him and Randy dunking on each other like that would ever happen. I didn't mean, it was more metaphor. Randy and I, unless they're short rims, like kid rims, we're not literally dunking. I'm talking about cut downs and snarkiness, that kind of thing. I didn't mean, did you even for a moment think that him and I were going to run out there and have a slam dunk contest?
Because come on, man. just think about that a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little. You were halfway there.
Yeah, there was a figure of speech right there, Beer Bob. Anyway, so what do you guys think of the courts in this stupid in-season tournament? I want to know because I hate it. Keon, you kind of hate it or don't hate it?
Kind of hate it. Some of the gray ones are, like they're passable. You can look at them. It's not
gray.
Yeah, like there's.
You sure you're not colorblind?
I am sure I'm not colorblind. The
what?
Portland
Portland
Trailblazers played on a gray court.
Really?
Yeah. There are a few of the gray ones. I looked up all the color schemes before the games because I wanted to know which ones were going to blind me first.
I just Googled Portland Court, found a very nice apartment complex. That was not helpful. All right. I don't see it. I don't know what it looks like.
I think the Spurs had one that had more gray in it. Yeah. Like some of them, they're not all intense blue and yellow. Like some of them are because they're with your team colors. So whatever color that happens to be, I'm afraid to see the Wizards one because that one has a lot of pink in it. Which
first up, the one of them for the Blazers was red and says Rip City. The other one was gray with pink paint. It's pink inside the 3-point line, but the free throw area is gray. That's probably what you were looking at.
Yeah, it's gray. It's darker gray from the middle, and it gets lighter gray as it goes out. It's got the rose.
Oh, like a big circle.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I see that one too. Yeah, I guess they have a couple different versions.
Yeah.
Please, just I wish that's not necessary. Walter Mellon says Brooklyn's court is a strange color, maybe gray. So, does Phoenix have a color? We weren't at home, right?
Yeah, we weren't at home, but they do have one. Let me get this article back up here.
I just want to know what you guys think. Do you like these funky in-season tournament colors on the courts? Is it a turnoff? Does it make it hard to watch? The blue does. I agree. Because whenever we've watched college football and I've seen who has the blue field? Is that Kentucky?
Boise State.
Who?
Boise State.
Of course. Why not? Boise. It does. Makes it hard to watch, doesn't it? You're like
that bright blue.
I don't want to watch it then.
Which is fine. Yeah, the Suns have like it's like an orange. So it's like a kind of the half court circle is kind of a brighter orange, and then it gets more muted as it goes out. So that one I imagine isn't so bad, but you have to see it on TV first because I'm just looking at the artist rendering of it. So that doesn't tell me how unwatchable it is until I turn on the TV and watch it.
Mm-hmm. Pull the Plug says the stupidity of the in-season should be confirmed by ratings. I'd watch if the only other choice was like soccer because it's not sport. Well, Pull the Plug.
The in-season games are just games, though. Like they do matter and count as games as well.
Well, Pull the Plug. We have determined that soccer is a sport. It's just not one we'd watch. So it is actually a sport.
Yeah.
Just not for us. Now, beyond that, you know what we need? I think I asked the wrong question. because nobody who has texted in so far has liked the in-season court color.
Have you seen the Timberwolves one?
No.
It's green.
Ew.
It's just this, and it's not like the forest
color
green. Okay, it's got forest green on the outer edges of it, but it's that lime green in the middle.
I mean,
that thing is ugly.
Jesus. That looks just like something that should be for the Celtics.
Oh, no.
That should be for the Celtics.
Well, the Timberwolves did used to wear green, I guess. That's part of what.
When?
The 90s.
I don't remember ever seeing them green.
The 90s, man.
Man,
they had the blue.
I watched a lot of basketball in the 90s.
The blue and the green.
Do not recall.
But
okay.
That's a lot of green. That's so much more green than they've ever had. That's so.
Donnie says, it's beautiful, Keon. No, it's not.
It hurts my eyes, Donnie.
So
they're bleeding.
The only person so far on the text line who likes the in-season tournament court colors is Donnie. Let that sink in. Or he's just kidding.
Red to pink. That's going to be hard to look at. Lord.
Blah, 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 blah. Seabass says, breaker, Blender Boys. Do you read me? You're coming in loud and clear today on my CB radio. No, we're not. We're not on your CB. Don't lie.
We're just on your radio.
We're on your radio or on the app. That's all we got. He says, don't get me started on the in-season tournament. My Charlotte Bobcats have been bad since they were born. And the only thing we have to look forward to is, well, yeah, an all in-season tournament. Do you even have that?
Oh, no.
Big George says, yeah, I agree. They make me long for the NFL Color Rush uniforms.
And that's saying a lot because those were not good uniforms.
True story. Pull the Plug says, too much holding, their leg rolling, crying. Real men don't cry in professional sports. Oh, you're talking about soccer. Dude, I didn't say that you're wrong. I'm just saying it's just, we determined it an actual sport. But I agree. Yeah, I didn't want to see that. Megatron just sent over. He's like, yeah, look at that. Kevin Garnett, Timberwolves. Boom. Green jerseys with the blue outline. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I loved those jerseys.
My brain, I guess, shut that out. Probably because Timberwolves were never good enough to play the Suns. Back in that day, it was.
Well, when Garnett was there? Well, that was a
I
good
don't think,
Timberwolves
did
team.
they? I mean, they may have played a couple times, but they weren't in the playoffs, were they?
Yes.
Were they?
Yes. They didn't go to like a finals, but
93, 94?
I don't think they overlapped. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Timberwolves were like late 90s.
I remember seeing highlights of Kevin Garnett being like, wow.
Mid to late 90s.
If he was on a team in the West, we'd get to see him. But, this is before internet,
Yeah.
You'd have to actually watch TV and wait to see sports,
Or,
you had to see a little.
my favorite thing, like wake up with my dad in the morning and watch all the highlights on the ESPN.
You got to watch some death and destruction, and sometimes you had to watch a squirrel on water skis before they even got around to the sports. That's how old I am, I guess. 888-368-1580. Megatron says Western Conference Finals 2004. Yeah, but I said the 90s. That's when I watched the most, and then I kind of walked away from basketball for a while. Long story, but then I came back. So I guess I missed that one. Wilbur says, even I can't stand the color of the play-in tournament courts. See? I mean, oh.
Oh, no.
Maybe not
Oh,
see.
no.
Right?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So does anybody like these damn courts? I'm not even sure that that Donnie.
The ones that I like the most, it's a neutral opinion. Like I'm glad that I cannot be blinded by it.
I think Donnie's just full of crap. Donnie, you being serious? You don't really, you just love everything Minnesota.
Yeah, that's the reason why I assume he's being serious. It's a Minnesota thing. He doesn't think his teams can do wrong. So.
Oh, George, don't do that. What are you doing? What are you doing, George? This is George. George's text and opinion do not reflect that of the Daily Blender, of myself, Randy White, or Keon Rose. Now, Keon's like, wait a minute. I'll speak for myself. Trust me on this one. Big George says, Minnesota Timberwolves are a good team. They'll compete for an NBA title this season. Too bad they will lose to the Suns in the playoffs. That's George. That's not us.
I mean, they are a good team.
No, I'm not disagreeing. They're a good team, but this
But
whole
when you say compete for a title, do you mean just like conference finals?
and don't say that. Just let's see what happens, man. Don't start to get cocky. 8 games in. Any number of things can happen.
The Suns do look better at this point in the season than they did last season, but that's still a long season.
Yeah, it's a long season. You don't say stuff like that, George, because then Donnie lumps us in with all the other shows that are like all over the Suns, and that's not us.
That's not the sound I was expecting there. Okay. Oh,
sorry, I was clearing my throat. Sorry. Or somebody's throat. Anyway, 888-368-1580. Oh, no. Pickle D says, I actually like the Hawks court from last season. What was the Hawks court all about?
I'd have to go back and look it up.
Is the Atlanta Hawks probably some version of red and black or something? I don't know. Donnie says, my Timberwolves are a mess right now. Good. That'll keep you shut up. Heckler Jones says, this show is still on. I know, right? Walter Mellon says, I think basketball season is so long that they're trying to make the front end more appealing or interesting. People usually pay more attention to basketball after the All-Star break. It's really no benefit for the team to win the tournament. That should make the reward like a first-round pick or something. Then the teams would really try, and then we'd see some great ball games. Well, not like the number 1 pick, but yeah, what if they said, okay, whoever wins the in-season tournament gets the number 4 pick? But then is that really worth it for the players?
And also like the team that's the 4th worst team in the league who gets the 4th pick in the lottery, like what happens to you? You just were bad and now
the whole lottery thing where they're like, okay, you get a chance, and they roll the dice and like, sorry, even though you're the worst, you don't get nothing.
But rewarding a team that's good with another generational talent potentially doesn't help the bad teams at all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
pizza
and
party.
also,
That's what they need, Walter Mellon. Just give them a pizza party.
This is the knockout round of the NBA Cup, and so like the teams are trying because these games right now also count to your actual record. Like they still count. They're not. It's when you start to get to the knockout rounds. Out of group play and into the knockout rounds, that's where it's like, okay, well, obviously everybody's not participating here, so you can't count those towards somebody's record.
Would you agree that this damn thing started too soon? I mean, we're not even 10 games in, and suddenly we're in a tournament for.
Because you're doing the tournament games a couple times a week. You're not doing. It's not. We're not taking a month off to do this. It's
sure, but
Tuesday you play a group game.
Why
Friday
so
you play a
soon?
group game.
Maybe they could have waited a little bit
because
let the season start to develop.
You have like 5 teams in your group. You have to play all the other teams in your group, and then you got to get to the knockout round and play a little tournament style thing from that point forward. So
doesn't answer my question. Why not wait a little bit?
Well, because if you wait any longer, by the time you actually do this, you're up against the All-Star break. And like the texter said, I forget which one, they're trying to make the beginning of the season more interesting.
Walter Mellon.
Yeah, Walter Mellon. I agree with Walter Mellon. I think this is just an attempt to try and gain some interest.
Who agrees
for
with
early
me
season.
that this thing is just dumb as hell?
It's dumb as hell, but they're
Keith
trying.
agrees.
They're trying a thing. I mean, I don't. Whether or not it's working is a different conversation. But I respect them for trying.
Heckler Jones, who was just heckling, says it's dumb, and he agrees that the courts are ugly. Beer Bob says, I like the idea right there. Award a extra first-round pick to the winner of the NBA Cup in-season tournament. You just add an extra pick at the end of the first round.
So then what you're saying is
not
it's like saying,
because
what would have happened if the Celtics were like, oh, a number 1 pick, we actually get to try. And now the Celtics get to add to Jaylen Brown.
Well, you get your wish. There's some good play at the beginning of the season.
And Jason Tatum. You get some good play at the beginning of the season, but you're going to, in the long term, ruin the league as the best team wins that cup and then gets the best players. Then why have a draft?
Well, I think this is the way this country is heading. So it might as well just be the mantra. F you, pores.
Sure, but that makes you less money as a league.
Yeah, no, but who cares?
The league
Hurry-
that's trying to make money.
Hurry Harry says, dumb as hell is an understatement, Keon. Can you say tournament again, please? Huh?
It's the tournament.
You didn't say tournament wrong. Scratch Me Because says, I am currently on the disabled list with a sprained MCL in my left knee. I was injured while playing ice hockey goalie when a large player fell in my leg. As a soon-to-be 61-year-old man, I was wondering if I can hire Big George to file an elder abuse claim. Yeah, I'm sure you could. I mean, you kind of put yourself out there. I don't know how much of a case you'll have, but George has argued worse cases for Randy. Don't see why not. Clay Nigma says, dumb as hell. Big George says, group stage, knockout round. Is this basketball or soccer?
Well, that's how they do it at the FIBA Cup, too. It's not a soccer-only thing. It's just a style of tournament play.
All you damn foreigners coming here and messing around sports.
They do it in FIBA. They do it in the World Baseball Classic. Like, this is not the only place that this happens.
Mr. Wilbur says, can you imagine if they did an in-season tournament at University of Texas? The court would look like one of those creamsicle orange and vanilla things. Just this
be the single most painful thing that your eyes have ever witnessed. Yeah, I'm glad that doesn't happen.
I can't say there. Former co-host of a morning show here changed his shirt in front of me. That was painfulest thing I've ever seen.
So maybe second most painful thing that Jeffrey specifically has ever seen. But
leave me out of this.
For most people, that'll be the most painful thing you'll see in your life.
I mean, hey, I'm glad you have a positive body image, but I didn't need to see it. Pickle D says it was the City Connect design with MLK and the black and light blue color scheme there. For the Hawks. ASU Buddy says they should make a rule. Whoever wins the tournament should be granted home court advantage in the playoffs. Now, I like that. I like that because if you make the playoffs, you get home court advantage. Huh? What do you think of that? That actually kind of tracks.
That's better.
There's
a little bit more weight there behind those games. Did somebody get ASU Buddy a line to Adam Silver?
Well, listen, ASU Buddy right there, just doing a school proud. That was a brilliant thought process right there. Home court advantage if you make the playoffs. I'm saying if, because just because you win this thing
doesn't mean you necessarily make the playoffs. And
but
then
not bad.
That's even more entertaining because now I've got to follow you to make sure you make the playoffs. If you make the playoffs, good for you. If you don't make the playoffs, I get to laugh at a team for wasting an opportunity. I'm okay with this.
Not him, Big George. He was taller and bigger. That's all I can say. All right, we got to take a break. We're very late. So let's come back and talk some other NBA stuff. And hey, I got some ASU tickets to give away still for Sunday versus St. Thomas. And these bad boys come with a parking pass. We'll make sure we give you some away today. So stay tuned for that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
NBA tonight, the Phoenix Suns are on the road to take on the Sacramento Kings. It continues a 4-game road trip. The Suns beat the Utah Jazz on Tuesday night, 120-112, getting 31 points from Devin Booker. They raised their record to 9-2. The Suns are a 7.5-point underdog with back-to-back road games, plus 275 on the money line, while the Kings are minus 300. The over-under tonight sits at 225.5. And in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals with the weekend off. They're back Sunday, November 24th at Seattle. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can easily find coverage options that fit your budget. If only it was that easy to name your baby.
How about Jaden?
Nope.
Okay. Michael?
Went to middle school with a glue-eating Michael.
Sebastian?
Dated one in college.
How about Damien?
Vampire name.
All right. Greg?
Not feeling it.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Jeffrey?
Oh, love that one.
Wait, really?
No.
Find coverage options that fit your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law, not available in all states.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up, you check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of SportTrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the SportTrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinny wheels. Live bets on SportTrade are instantly accepted. Download SportTrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
SportTrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Sunday morning, catch live NFL coverage on the Fanatic.
It's a classic black and blue NFC North Division matchup when the Packers travel to Chicago to take on Caleb Williams and the Bears. The Packers hope to continue their trek toward the playoffs. The Bears just hope to get their offense going. Packers at Bears. Sunday morning, 10:30.
Your home for the NFL in the Valley is 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We clean up the text line here. Megatron says the tournament is for international exposure. Emirates paid $500 million to be the sponsor. Not about exposure, maybe money now, huh? Wilbur says they should simply shut down the NBA season for 2 weeks and invite every team to Las Vegas and put 2 basketball courts inside the Raider Stadium and play basketball all day, all night till we got a winner. Survival of the fittest. No.
That's going to lead to very, very bad basketball.
Yeah, I don't think that's
not a watchable product.
Well, not for Wilbur. Commando Duke says, simple, include European teams in the tournament, play with the international rules. And yes, winner gets home field advantage.
No, you can't include European teams in the tournament. These games count to your record, your actual NBA record. If you play some team from the German league or something, how are you supposed to figure out how that counts to your record?
Don't yell at Commando Duke. This is a bad idea to start with. He's just trying to help.
This is not making it better. It's not making it better.
We don't care about making it better. We just try to make it more watchable.
The solution should just be don't have it.
Ooh, there's a good idea.
But this is a sports talk show. And if the solution is just don't have it, conversation's over. We just move on.
Well, the solution is just don't have it.
Okay.
Bat Flipper says in-season tournament only for garbage teams. A team that wins gets that draft pick. Start after the All-Star break.
How do you decide? Well, I don't want to watch it after the All-Star break.
Nobody wants to watch the worst teams either.
Yeah. First off, nobody wants to watch the worst teams. Plus, after the All-Star break, we're trying to pay attention to the teams that can actually win, a championship that matters. We're not trying to care about any of those teams. What good does that do anybody?
Devil Hawk says, that Jennifer Coolidge, she really needs to cut out the caffeine. She's kind of starting to sound crazy. Just now, huh? All right. Pull the Plug says, take $500 million and do an NCAA type tournament. That's just the end of the season. There's just a tournament. I mean, it's called the NBA Finals. I
don't understand.
Why do we need two?
The whole point is to draw interest in the beginning of the season. If you can figure out a way to do that without this, that is what I think would be more productive to talk about than how to fix this tournament that we all agree nobody wants to watch.
No, it's just not. Yeah, the ratings should be the final decider on all this. I don't know who said that earlier, but they were right. I didn't want to tell them because I didn't want it to go to their heads. But that's really the truth of the matter. Bat Flipper says, you watch Washington teams. I know you'll watch, Keon. You'll watch.
Yeah, I got one team that I got to watch that bad. You're telling me I want to watch more? No, I do not want to watch the Wizards and then also the Pistons and then also the Hornets. I don't hate myself that much.
Biscuits and Gravy says, shorten the season. I don't care.
No.
I don't care.
No.
If that helps, I don't know. I don't know how it helps.
All of these records that we have, they're 82-game seasons. Play the 82 games.
Miss Wilbur says, let's not get crazy, boys. Lakers are going to win anyway because Bronny is going to get called up and he's going to star in the in-season tournament.
He can't star in a regular season game in the fourth quarter when the Lakers are up by 25. What do you mean?
He
What do you
can't
mean?
star in a single 30-second appearance.
No, he's barely starring in the G League right now. What do you mean?
Pull the plug says, me on the ratings. I don't understand what that means. Me on ratings.
Was he saying that he was the one that said the thing about the ratings being the final decider?
I'm scrolling.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. If you want it to be, it's you. Scratchman because says, how about allowing hockey style fighting to the NBA in season tournament? Oh, that'll make it more interesting.
The NBA had a malice in the palace, and they are never going to allow fighting in this sport again.
And they played that tape over and over and over and over and over. People have watched that millions and millions of times. Some fighting, it probably would help.
Yeah, but I think the league doesn't want to run the risk of losing advertisers there. It's allowed in hockey because that's part of the tradition of hockey. They removed that as part of the tradition of basketball because of that. It spilled into where the fans are. You just can't do it. You can't do it. I'm sorry. Can't be done.
I like the idea, but here's the other part. NBA players can't fight.
Well, and part of that is
always always pretty well weak sauce unless the players fight the public.
It's an anymore thing. Like I remember Carmelo Anthony got into a fight, and then he was telling this story on his podcast like earlier in the summer. He got into a fight, and then David Stern basically pulled him to the office and said, "You do that again, you will be out of this league. You will just be out of it." And Carmelo Anthony never got into another fight, and he got it out of the league. So that the next wave of players, and then the wave after them, like none of these guys can fight. They haven't had to.
They're no good at fighting. Walter Mellon says, I got it. For the first part of the season, you get a raffle ticket for every game that you watch. And after the All-Star break, they hit you with that raffle and you win $1 million. You have to log on to some sort of app or something to keep track of it. Ooh, but that could be done.
So you'd have to, any product where you have to offer people potentially $1 million to watch it is a product not even worth making. You're describing, yeah, but I'm saying you would only watch because there'd be a chance you could win some money. At that point, the product, it's you admitting that the product sucks.
No, the product doesn't suck. There's just so much other things going on at the beginning of the NBA season. Hockey just happened. NFL is happening, baseball is, now baseball's gone by then. Anyway, for the most part, I'm just saying.
What was on last night? What else was competing with the NBA last night?
Don't ruin Walter Mellon's idea about giving us $1 million.
I want actually good ideas.
Acting like you wouldn't sit there and make sure you got your raffle tickets.
No, I would not do that.
You would too.
No, I would not.
If it was offered and you're watching anyway, you're doing it. Guarantee you.
If I'm already watching, sure. But if I decided that night, you know what, I got plans. The girlfriend wants to go out to dinner. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, for a chance to win $1 million.
Yeah, you would
put
just
the money in my
turn the
hand.
TV on before you leave, and you'd get your ticket.
Put the money in my hand. Or we don't have anything. Like I'm not
That's
doing.
fine.
I'm not,
Walter Mellon, we don't need him because
you're just going to compete
better for us.
Yep,
if Keon doesn't
with the other millions of other people that are watching. So your chances are 0.000 a million zeros.
You sound like one of those people who say, "I don't even have a TV." No, bull crap. You would be sitting there watching like everybody else, making sure you got your thing registered
for
what?
For
$1 million damn dollars?
No, for the chance to win $1 million with odds so low, I might as well just go scratch a lottery ticket.
All right. Well, you're off having dinner with your girlfriend.
Okay.
Walter Mellon and I will have better odds.
Your better odds. How many times have you won the lottery again?
I won the lottery just the other day.
Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha.
I mean, I got $4.
I gotcha.
I'm not lying. I can prove it.
You can $4, $4 whole dollars. How about that?
It's not the version I wanted.
Okay, yeah, the version that any of us wants. How many of those have you won? Because those are the same odds.
Quite a few.
Okay.
But this is $1 million.
Don't worry. I'll leave you your lottery level odds. You go ahead and keep those. I'm sure you're gonna win $1 million.
Maybe I will. Good. You can't win if you don't play.
Lots of people play the lottery and don't win their whole lives.
That's fine.
No, go ahead.
But it has my attention. Ooh, there's a chance to win money. Why not?
Like literally, the Mega Millions comes around decently often. Less effort to do than
Walter Mellon's right.
Watching bad basketball. But sure, no.
Walter Mellon says, Keon, you're watching it right now for free. See? I'm going to watch it for a chance to win something.
I picked and chose the games I liked to watch. I didn't watch all the games. Like, what games are you trying to watch here?
Heckler Jones says, what girlfriend? He has a girlfriend. I've met her.
I have a girlfriend. Yeah. What are you talking about? What girlfriend?
Same one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've met her.
Yeah.
Pickle D says, I don't know. I think Draymond Green could mess somebody up. Yeah, he'd probably be one of the upper 25% of fighters, but he's none of these guys.
Prime Draymond, maybe.
Wilbur says, I'd rather get kicked in the nuts than have any sort of care for the stupid in-season tournament. Last Optimist says, build a plexiglass wall around the playing floor. Allow players to bounce the ball off the wall to their teammates. You know, it's like having a 6-man and then allow fighting back in basketball.
No.
Basically play basketball in a hockey rink.
No.
Keon doesn't speak for me. No. I am entertaining Walter Mellon and Last Optimist's ideas.
That's a horrible idea.
Big George says, Keon, wow. Brings you're being so elitist, scoffing at $4. Hey, listen, $4 is a lot of money to some of us out here.
Okay.
I've spent a lot of money to win that $4.
Okay, yeah. Like I'm not scoffing at the $4. It's like, how many times did you play to win it?
Oh no, that's a good point, Pickle D. He says Ja Morant would just shoot you.
Yeah.
Golden Domer says you watch WNBA, but you don't like the in-season tourney. In-season tourney adds an element of fun, says Golden Domer.
I do like the in-season tournament as far as it's just basketball I was already watching.
I just don't like it in principle.
But like we have games that just don't matter for anything except a trophy that doesn't matter for anything. Because we already have another tournament, the real one that we all care about at the end of the season that we all watch called the playoffs. That's got nothing to do with the WNBA. They're unrelated. If the WNBA had an in-season tournament, that would be dumb too. See how that
Keon
works?
Be a purist who never ever wins the $1 million NBA lottery. That is his choice.
Yeah, the fictional one, by the way,
is his choice
that we made up just now.
Oh, this could get some wheels on it, man.
It's funny to me because
I like his idea.
I bet the NBA games. I have a better chance of winning the bets I make on games that I don't necessarily have to watch.
Yeah,
than
but
you
this
do.
is just easier. I just got to watch, and I get a
you get a raffle ticket
like
to
a
compete
probably
with
electronic raffle ticket
with enough people that you will literally never win. But that's fine. Again,
somebody's got to win.
Okay.
Might be me, might not be me. What's the harm in it?
It will most likely not be you.
What's the harm
Well, then
in it?
why don't you vote for the All-Stars?
I don't care about that.
Okay, because they offer money for that.
Oh,
they
do
offer for a chance to win. Yeah, for those votes.
And nobody told me.
They offer you a chance to win money to vote for the All-Stars.
How much can you win?
I'd have to check that right now. I don't know off the top of my head what the number is.
Well, check it. What are you waiting for? Come on, check it. I got to know this.
Well,
I might actually vote.
You
I ain't
might-
never won nothing, but someday I might.
Okay.
Somebody's going to win. I don't know. I'm more likely to do stuff if somebody says you could win a prize. Oh, hey, now I'm here. No, I ain't kidding. We're not going to break till you find it. He's Googling it.
I'm Googling it, but
I ain't never heard of this. Never heard of this. That you could win
Like-
money for putting in your all-star
money or,
vote.
or tickets to the game or whatever.
Oh, don't bore me with
or
tickets.
or a car.
A car. That ain't nothing. Of course, you got to pay taxes on that, probably. I don't know. Paying taxes on money they hand you, well, you can pay the taxes out of the money they hand you. Paying taxes in the car, you're like, crap. Hope I have enough money sitting around to pay the taxes on that. That's why when Oprah gave everybody a car, you get a car, you get a car. That caused some havoc in some people's lives because they're like, I don't know what to do with this. Pull the Plug says, make the in season a scrub on scrub, but then it's not worth watching. Pull the Plug. It's not worth watching. It's got to be a couple of things, worth watching and meaningful in some way to make it worth watching. I don't know. I think the whole thing should just be scuttled, really. That's really where we're at. Well, I'm going to let Keon figure this out through the break because I can't wait forever.
Yeah, and so it's a lot. It's like a giant wall of text here. I'm trying to.
Did you go to like NBA.com? And
I did.
And then, there ain't no damn money. You lied to me.
I did not lie to you.
You misled me.
I did not mislead you. But you gave me, a minute to find something that the league isn't promoting at this point in the season just yet. So hold on, let me find it.
If they'll do that, they'll listen to Walter Mill. They'll listen to Last Optimist. That's all I've got to say.
And
all
your
right,
odds of winning it will still be horrific.
All right, so there's a chance. All right.
Okay.
There's a chance.
All right.
All right, let's take a break. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter. You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors factors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Your home for sports.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Eric Spoelstra is a good coach, and yeah, I feel like he's pretty good.
Yeah,
He's the Miami Heat's coach. Yeah, I mean, he made a boo-boo. He made a goof. He says it's a horrendous mistake when he called a timeout that the Miami Heat didn't have last night with 1.1 seconds left in overtime. So they got a technical foul, and then that was that.
Yeah, because Cade Cunningham goes to the line to shoot the free throw, and then they get the ball back. The Pistons do in that game.
Game over.
So wasted a 40-point Tyler Hero performance to even get them to that point in the game with just a mental error on the part of Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, it was a big one. But listen, everybody makes mistakes. It's not like he's bad at coaching regularly in games. There's just a moment in time where brain fart, could happen to anybody. Bad time for that to happen. And I guarantee you, he won't make that mistake again. And I'm sure he had to apologize to everybody. You're fighting your heart out and you lose it like that. That's a hard pill to take. But, we all make mistakes.
Yeah, and fortunately, it's a regular season game. Like you're not, if this was Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, maybe you're having a different conversation entirely.
So, I don't know how Miami Heat fans feel about all this, but if he was our coach, I would just be like, okay, well, that sucked a lot, but all right. I doubt he would do that again. I mean, that's it.
He hasn't done it this whole time. This is a guy that's won 3 championships. It's not like he can't coach.
Yeah, he's not exactly new at it. So yeah, I just feel like this is a non-issue. But right, quite right. He should feel that it's horrific. He should feel embarrassed and really sorry to everybody on the team. But he was pretty ticked off when that whole thing went down. Megatron says he was so mad they gave up the lob for 2 that he just wanted to yell at him. Yeah, he was just that was the other thing.
Yeah, just kind of
he stormed out there. He's like, time out, and he's like, oh damn it.
Yeah.
He says, I'm 17 years in. There's no excuse for that. He says, we had talked about it in the huddle. I knew we didn't have anything. I just got emotional and reactive, and I just made a horrendous mistake at the end. It's a shame. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least he took, responsibility for it. You know what I mean? He didn't try to get out of it or
shuffle
anything.
the blame off on somebody else or something like that. He's aware he made a mistake, and that's what a good coach does.
So yeah, I wouldn't give it another thought unless he does that dumb bleep again, right?
Yeah, like you said, 17 years in, and this is the first time. Like, yeah, I think you can give the guy a pass. By the way, the winner of the voting contest for last season, because they don't have the new season stuff up yet, was a 4-day, 3-night trip for 2 to the NBA All-Star Game. It was in Indy last year, consisting of a round trip, coach air transportation from the winner's residence, and then you get 2 tickets to all the All-Star events with an approximate value of $12,000. I'm just saying it's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Got it. Yeah, I know. It doesn't really move the needle as much, as the $1 million that Megatron's.
This is actually easier than the
Walter
thing than Walter Mellon said. This is actually easier, though. It's less effort. You just vote and then you're done.
Yeah, I'll do it, but I'm not.
I'm just saying, if you don't do that, then don't talk to me about.
I'll do it.
I'm just not basketball
not as enthused
to enter $1 million raffle. No. If it was me and like 100 people, oh, absolutely. But I know it's more than 100 people that are going to do that. So
I'll do it. I'll do it, but I'm just not as enthused. I don't know. Trip versus $1,000,000. Okay.
Okay.
Megatron says, I already read that. Sorry. Golden Domer says, dude, we're not going to do that. We're neither side. We're not doing political stuff. But you're probably right. Pull the Plug says, I'd use the trip to see the city. Well, you'd go watch. You'd still go watch the game, wouldn't you? I guess you would.
Yeah, I mean, you'd still you're there for 4 days and 3 nights.
See the stars.
So there'd be time to see the city without going to the event, which I imagine your seats would be very, very good. You just be close to the action.
Scalp them.
If you
Nobody
want to,
wants it.
that's why it's telling you what the value is, in case that's what you would like to do with your tickets.
No, I about guarantee you this can be a situation that you're not going to scalp. I would go. That's a bad look for them if you do that. Yeah, I would go too. I just go just to see the stars and understand this is going to be a dumb game. You're right. Pull the plug. The All-Star game is a joke. But I mean, you got to go there for free and you're hanging out and you're also the winner of the contest. You might meet a few people if you know what I mean. Yeah, and you might get some autographs or something.
I still enjoy the 3-point shooting competition. If I had a chance to go out and watch Steph Curry shoot some threes, I'm probably going to do that. The dunk contest is not great on TV, but like in person, that's still impressive to me.
Yeah, listen, the Steph Curry shoot around before a game is as advertised. I got a personal private show I wasn't supposed to get a few years ago. Sitting there at the Staples Center back when, who were they sharing it with? No, where was it? No, they were playing the Clippers. That's what it was. So I was at the Staples Center and I wasn't supposed to be there. Didn't know I wasn't supposed to be there. And I'm watching them like take these circus shots from the tunnel. It was just like crazy stuff. And that's worth it. That just to watch the shoot around, it would be worth it. The game itself, dumb as hell. The game is just pointless and kind of lame.
Yeah,
but getting to meet some of these guys, getting to see some of this, and I'm feeling like, well, maybe those are going to be pretty good seats.
And you're going to be put up in a nice hotel. Look, I would be involved.
I would do the whole experience.
Yeah.
But, you do you. Pull the plug. Last Optimist says, I'd scalp the tickets to pay for the $2,500 in taxes I'd owed for winning that trip. Yeah, there's always that, but I don't think you're going to get that much money for the tickets. I don't think the value is what you think it might be on those tickets, depending on where they are. So anyway, we're all just talking about stuff that has not happened. So, the reason that Greg Popovich hasn't been around, they're like, oh, he's sick. Yeah, he's sick in the fact that he had a stroke. That's what happened. He had a mild stroke on Saturday.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. A couple of Saturdays ago. Yeah, it was November 2nd. And Popovich is getting up there. I'm surprised. He's looked rough for years. So I am surprised. 29 seasons in at the age of 75. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, he's been the coach of the Spurs for 29 seasons. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Greg Popovich was going to let Becky Hammond take over. What happened to that?
That was never a promise that was made. That was something people asked for, said would be really cool, but
that was me.
When he's done coaching, then they'll figure out what to do next. But he's not done. And he seems like one of those guys that will coach until literally it's not physically possible for him to do it.
Which this might be it.
Yeah.
But they said it was a minor stroke, a mild stroke.
I mean, that's still a blockage of some blood vessel. Mm-hmm. Mild means it's partial, but that's still not great.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't mind some of these guys dying at their post. Look at the guy at the Denver Broncos. Finally was like, I couldn't see. My eyesight. Usually when somebody talks about their eyesight getting ready to go, it's either an impending stroke or high blood pressure situation. That guy was in his almost 80, I think, right? And he was just like, yeah, I'm going home to Florida. I'm out. And, there's just a point where, you say, hey, I want to work till the very end. Popovich might be at that end, not like dying, but just saying maybe
end of a career.
Maybe he needs to take a break finally. Take it easy. He'll do whatever the hell he wants. It's Pop, right? If he wants to go 5 more years, who's going to stop him?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a man with a tremendous amount of influence. Well, okay. Besides that, he has a tremendous amount of influence inside of that building. He is someone who was the general manager of that team, and then he hired himself as coach and then did that for 29 years at a pretty high level. He's just a lifer, man. Like that's what he's all about, is the game of basketball, and having a chance to coach yet another generational talent in his life and in his career. I don't think this is an opportunity he wants to pass up.
Kringleberries is happy hump day, guys. Hey, Keon, I missed the beat the bet long shot parlay, and I don't see it on the webpage. Sorry to bother you about this, but I only get to listen to 1580 sporadically during work.
Let's see here. What are you on the X? I could send it to you on there, because it was mentioned on the show. Unless the podcast is up already, that's segment 3.
I don't know. Don't look at me. It ain't my show.
Because I don't know all of the legs of said parlay off the top of my head. It's a bunch of players to get 30 points in the NBA. But check out the podcast. It's on there.
Yeah, do that. Go to 1580thefanatic.com and start clicking buttons. You'll sort it out. All right, guys, that's 1 hour down, and we got 2 to go. Come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with 2 Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's Kasai Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
My name is Mary Grace. Early diagnosis is key, but make no mistake, it is a devastating disease.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All
right, everybody. It's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and good friend, radio pal Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He should be back tomorrow, but we got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And today's Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Thursday, but it's actually just Wednesday. Is there anything happening tonight? Is there any sports to watch?
I mean, it's basketball, hockey.
Oh, yeah, the Suns playing the Kings again. They played the Kings a lot.
They played the Kings a few days ago. The early NBA schedule this year, I've noticed, has got a lot of repeats. They played the Clippers a couple of times early.
Mm-hmm.
They played the Lakers a couple of times early. This is the second time they're playing the Kings now. I don't know why the schedule is like that, but it very much is.
It's really weird. And, the text line, for some reason, tells me we have a lot of texts, but then there's no texts. I'm very confused. So if you're not getting a response from me right away, we might be having some glitching. So, hang in there. Let's see. Did you ever figure out your parlay thing for that guy? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I've got it here if he's still listening.
Bat Flipper was trying to help. He says, Karl Anthony Towns, Wagner, Edwards, Harden over 30 points. Was that it?
Yeah. So Franz Wagner, Karl Anthony Towns, James Harden, Anthony Edwards, all to score over 30 tonight.
There you go. Pickle D and Bat Flipper, they had that for you, Kringleberry. So yeah. 888-368-1580. Nothing else is happening tonight? No. There's a real fight on Saturday between Jones and
Mayacic. I genuinely don't know how to pronounce that man's name. So
yeah, there's a UFC 309, but then on Friday there's what I hope is going to be the end of Jake Paul.
I mean, I doubt it. This just feels like a built-up spectacle for to make both guys money.
I don't think Mike Tyson cares about it. The money. I think Mike Tyson is really, he said, I'm bringing the devil himself into the ring. And he's like, my kids, his kids are treating him like, everybody's kids end up treating you like, they don't care. And he says, listen, they look at me as dad and they say, yeah, sit your old ass down. He says, but on November 15th, they're going to have a different opinion of me. So he has bad intentions.
Yeah, and I mean, but that's part of it is selling the fight. That's the fight game, is being able to sell the fight. He's clearly better at it than Jake Paul is, by the way. He just some of the stuff I've heard, it's just like he's good at selling the fight, but he's still 58 years old. So I don't know how this is going to go. And
You seen any of the videos?
I have seen the videos. He looks insanely strong. I wouldn't step in the ring with him.
Mm-mm.
I'm not, just to make that clear.
I'll tell you what, I have to admit, Jake Paul looks pretty, pretty strong too.
Yeah, he's in the prime of his youth. He uses steroids. So there's
of course.
just I mean,
I'd like to see him get hit by a car. I would.
Just this.
I was hoping the car would be Mike Tyson.
It's not like a sanctioned fight. So
isn't this an official fight though? I thought this was a sanctioned fight.
I don't believe it is.
Ooh, you might want to look that up. I think it is. I think it might be. This is a real fight. The little things that have been done before were charity exhibition stuff, but I think this actually counts. I don't even care about all that. I just
I mean, it is a sanctioned fight. I don't know what I don't know what this does for Tyson.
Well, it goes to his record.
Okay, you're 58 years old. What's one more loss?
Yeah, he has 6 losses in this one. He's like, I'm 58.
The one that goes against you when you're almost 60 is not. I don't know.
Who has the most to lose here?
I mean,
do you think it's Mike Tyson and his legacy, or do you think it's Jake Paul and his face?
It's Jake Paul and his face, and also like his. I don't want to say his legacy, but this career, this little side career he's made, just fighting random people. That can all go away if Mike Tyson were to win this fight, which is why I'm rooting for him. But I will not be watching this joke fest. No.
Ringless Joe says anyone that thinks that a 50-plus-year-old Mike Tyson can beat any athlete in the prime of his youth is huffing copium. think paint would have just been a better way to say that. The only reason to think Tyson can win is just disliking Paul. Well, here's the thing. Jake Paul's not an athlete.
I mean,
he's a big guy. He's in shape. Being in shape and being an actual boxer, or being in shape and being a YouTuber are two different things. And a lot of this stuff leading up to all this is some of it was probably staged.
He is in boxing shape. Like when you look at him and like the training that he's going through, like that actually is boxing training. The reason why he can't fight actual boxers is because experience also matters in that sport. And
Tyson has tons of it.
But then like a giant gap of time where he wasn't fighting and now he's back and he's 58. Like that's a little too much experience is what I'm trying to say. Is Jake Paul won't fight anybody who's 32. He won't fight anybody who's 26 and good right now. They'll kill him. He wouldn't fight Canelo. That like, do you know how much money that fight would make? Because people would know that Canelo would kill that man. He wouldn't fight him. He's fighting Mike Tyson precisely because he's nearly 60.
And here's the tail of the tape. Mike Tyson is 50-6. Jake Paul 10-1. Mike Tyson has 44 knockouts. Jake Paul has 7. And
how many of those knockouts occurred before Jake Paul was even born? I'd
say most of them.
Okay. What conversation are we having here?
I want this so bad.
I do too.
Can I
but
tell you, I
I'm not...
wasn't going to watch this. I wasn't going to watch this.
Okay.
I wasn't, because I know it's because I'm going to be very upset if it's a complete setup. You know what I mean? And, like the whole stupid, McGregor and, Floyd Mayweather thing. That pissed me off. This, I didn't want, but here's the thing. I'm going to end up watching it because my wife wants to watch it. My wife is like, yeah, I want to see this because she, I think, also wants to see Jake Paul's stupid face beat in. And maybe you're right, Ringless Joe. Maybe there's no chance of that happening, but there's a chance because even if there's a script, I don't think I would trust Mike Tyson to follow it. Mike Tyson's going to get in there. Muscle memory kicks in. Killer instinct activated. I'm just hoping.
Yeah, look,
I'm just hoping.
I hope so, but yeah, I'll just stick to watching like the actual fights.
Bring the devil himself in there. Listen, like I said, I wouldn't be turning this on. My wife, she's like, it's free. We're gonna watch it, and it's free, so we're gonna watch it.
Okay. I mean, I have Netflix as well. I won't be watching it though. I got other things I can do.
Just listen.
Look, if you want to watch it, I'm not telling you don't watch it. I'm just saying, as a fan of boxing, everything about this offends me. I won't be watching it.
I was fine to see this as God intended, which was on YouTube clips later.
Yeah, like if I get on social media and find out that Jake Paul's head has been disconnected from his shoulders, I will turn on YouTube and go find because I'll still get to see it though without having wasted time in real time watching it.
Ringless Joe says your reflexes rapidly diminish with age. Tyson still has the ring IQ, but his reflexes are going to be diminished enough that he won't be able to get many hits in or dodge Jake Paul's hits. Come over here and say that. Come over here and say that. I'm 54. I'll show you something. Don't come over here. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to show you anything. Yeah, just stay where you are. Pickle D says if the fight goes past 3 rounds, I think Paul wins due to stamina. But if Tyson doesn't knock him the F out, this whole thing is rigged. I don't probably know rigged anyway.
I don't think it's rigged, but the whole thing is at least disappointing.
In fact, let me just tell you, if this thing goes past 3 rounds, period, it's rigged. Because if what Keon is saying is right, and Jake Paul ends up beating the hell out of Mike Tyson because of age and whatever, all right. Or Mike Tyson just suddenly just pounds Jake Paul a few times and puts him on his back. Okay. So either way, it sounds like this should not go past a couple of rounds. Can we agree on that? In reality, it should not go past a couple of rounds.
I think so. I mean,
one way or the other.
Yeah. I mean, this I don't know. This just doesn't feel like it's set up to be a war.
How are they making money on this if it's on the Netflix though? guess that they're paying
Yeah,
for it.
Netflix is just flat out paying for it.
And then they're probably sponsors. I don't know.
Yeah.
Swazman says, oh, I got the thinky wheel. Hang in there, Swazman. We'll get back around to you. What were we doing? We were talking NBA. Did we finish talking all the NBA? Yeah, we did. Hey, what do you know about Carl Smesko, new head coach for the Atlanta Dream in the WNBA?
Almost nothing, actually.
So, should we have men coaching the women? I guess we can. I mean,
yeah,
I feel like
it's already been happening.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like you can't go in the locker room. Yeah, so I'll just meet you on the court, everybody. Yeah.
Well, yeah, or you can be in the locker room, but like there's an area where you change, and then there's like the middle of the locker room where we actually meet to talk about whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a little weird. I don't know.
If like a woman coached in the NBA, it'd be the same deal.
Feel like it should be women coaching, not because of the locker room, just because it's like, I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know.
It's just one of those things where it's like, why don't women get considered for NBA positions if coaching is just coaching and the X's and the O's what matters there?
I was really hoping Becky Hammon would end up coaching the Spurs there,
Yeah. But Greg Popovich likes coaching, so he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, what do I know? Swazman says, Jeffrey, I used to be a snowboard and ski instructor. I could jump over your house if you built me a jump, but I'm retired from all those high-risk sports because I am in my 50s, like Mike Tyson. Yeah, he needs to back off on this fight. It's kind of stupid. No, he's committed.
Remember that we should have had this fight in the summer, but Mike Tyson got ill because he is nearly 60. It's just
you get an ulcer when you're in your 20s. Shut up.
You can, but you're less likely to.
Bear Claw says, how old was Holmes and Foreman when they came out of retirement to fight? Well, you just answered the question. Retirement. So, yeah, I think they were in their 40s, weren't they? Ringless Joe says, it's like saying, who would you rather take as a quarterback? Current day Joe Montana or Bryce Young? It's a little bit different than that. I think you could probably bring them a little closer. Big Jake says, Jake Paul is a serious fighter. He's legit. He should beat the brakes off of Tyson. He keeps getting better with each fight. There's several women assistant coaches in the NBA and several refs. Oh, that's right. I was told not to listen. Turning the dial now. Oh, crap. I just read Big Jake's text. Oh, Big Jake, listen, you know what? Yeah, just try not to be annoying. Just listen, understand what the show is. And, I don't need to hear you tell me I'm hating on something. I'm not hating. Anyways, what were you saying?
Yeah, I mean, like Jake Paul getting better with every fight. He's still fighting nobodies. Who cares?
Yeah, he might be serious, but he's not a serious fighter. If he was a serious fighter, he'd be fighting actual boxers,
like
regularly.
A lot of the best fighters start fighting young. Like you have to, because to get the skills and experience you need so that you're good in your actual prime, not just good, great in your actual prime. You've got to start when you're like 10. Starting boxing because, I don't know, you just wanted to and you're a YouTuber, so you've got the money to do it just out of the blue. He is improving. Like I do see that he does things, I think, a lot better. He has a lot more power behind his punches. He has the ability to kind of figure out where opponents are trying to lead him or trick him, at certain points in the fight. Like the IQ side of boxing, he is getting better at, but I don't think he'll ever have the experience to be
Four words. Go box real boxers.
Yeah, he's not going to go into a ring and fight Terrence Crawford. So, like, what are we doing?
Then you're just wasting my time.
Yeah,
you're not a real boxer. You're not a serious boxer.
A lot of the fights that we're talking about, he's getting better. They're exhibitions. Who cares?
Jake. He says, he's knocked out several UFC champions, beat the brakes off him. Yeah, but
those are not boxers.
A couple of things there, right? Retired, and also UFC fighters are trained in multiple aspects, but the concentration is not boxing, and they don't even strike and fight with the same kind of rules. So it is not the same. And by the time you get to these people, Big Jake, they are also longer in the tooth and not people who should be fighting in a regular boxing ring.
Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor, and almost knocked him out. He had to actually hold him up in that fight to keep the thing going. And Floyd Mayweather was about to retire, has arthritis in both of his hands, and still almost knocked that man out. Like, if a boxer tries to fight a UFC fighter in an octagon, he loses. If a UFC fighter tries to fight a boxer in a boxing ring, he loses. I don't care what Jake Paul did against UFC fighters. This is exactly the thing that I'm talking about. I hate everything about this, man. Like, this just sucks.
Donnie, I have no idea what you're trying to ask me. And I'm not going to read the second name on that text because it's another radio station. Hamilton Porter says, Jeffrey, how are you feeling about Anthony Richardson being back in charge? Just, you know, no, you know, I don't talk about it. You know, just this, you know, my Colts are a mess. And, you know, this is clearly, you know, there's no focus. They're discombobulated. There's nobody in charge. There's one person's thinking this other person's thinking that. And I think that what this is that Jim Irsay just walked through the room and says, no, I can't have it like this. So I don't know. I mean, just when you think that somebody is being a grown-up, then you see, oh, look, they're putting him back. Tia says, go Tony Richardson. Yeah, okay. I'm not ready to talk about that yet. I don't even want to talk about that, but we will talk NFL. Don't worry. We're getting there. I'm not thrilled about it, as you can tell. Yeah. Remember Shohei Ohtani's 50-50 ball?
Yeah.
And then how the 50-50 ball was auctioned off for $4 million. I feel like that was a bit much for the 50-50 ball, but that's what they got. And so now we know who bought the ball. Turns out there was an investment firm in Taiwan. I don't know why, but this investment firm in Taiwan, they got it for $4.4 million. And now I've decided to put it on public display at a Taipei 101 skyscraper. And they're like, we own this ball and it's on the exhibition there for free, just to try to inspire the dreams and hopes of children in Taiwan and help further deepen exchanges between Japan and Taiwan. Okay. How's it doing that? I don't understand any of this.
We are out of my purview of how these things work. I don't know how it would help anything.
So kids got to go up a 101-story skyscraper and they got to go find this ball and they're going to like, oh my God, I am inspired.
I think they wanted I don't know how things work in Taiwan, but that seems like you could probably get out of paying taxes for that if you.
$4.4 million.
I don't know how it works, man.
And this is an investment firm, which means they see this ball as an investment. Whoever's idea this was, when they went to the boss, says, hey, listen, we got to get this ball. Yeah, trust me, it's a great investment. Thing better appreciate.
I think that they wanted the ball and wanted to just use it as a business expense as a way to get the ball. I don't see what this does for anybody.
Just don't get it.
Like if there was a kid from Taiwan that just didn't like Japan for some reason, I don't think seeing that ball is going to change his mind.
Hey, I mean,
being inspired by a guy who's really great at baseball from an entirely different country, same region of the world as you, but different country. How does that? Now, if Shohei Ohtani were Taiwanese,
George
I kind of get it.
George just went dark. He says if that Taiwanese investment firm really wanted to inspire some Taiwanese kids, they'd burn that baseball in public display to get them ready to fight the communist Chinese government that's about to invade them.
Okay. Well, you wouldn't want children to see that. You don't want children to go out there and fight, George. Why?
Hamilton Porter, you're wrong. He says, I'm pretty sure I could last 5 minutes in the ring with Jake Paul. Mike Tyson, I'd be lucky to last 5 seconds. Hey, spoiler alert, you wouldn't last 5 seconds with either. And I'm not even trying to say you're not manly. I'm just saying both of them are, they'll tear you a new one.
Jake Paul is 6'1", and right now it's 225 of muscle. I would not do that.
Yeah. Hamilton Porter, I'd just stay in your seat.
I am not impressed with him as a boxer fighting UFC fighters.
They're
I would be
looking
less impressed with him as a boxer beating up you or me.
They're looking for volunteers. Stay in your seat. Trust me on this. Stay in your seat. I'll stay in my seat too. All right, let's take a break. Let's come back. More of the Daily Blender after this here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Direct savings and client focus, the cornerstones of the Diamond Dave philosophy.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave Cantor. My team and I at Desert Wholesale Diamond can be your trusted friends with an inside scoop on the diamond world.
Just like they are to thousands of people around the world.
And just like we have been for over 34 years.
At Diamond Dave's, it's all about the diamonds and the savings, not paying for high-end retail locations or the overhead of a mall.
You stand to save big time with our by appointment professional office approach combined with direct importing.
When you choose Diamond Dave's, you choose huge savings, top quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Monday night means football on the Fanatic.
It's a battle for Texas when Houston travels to Dallas to take on Cooper Rush and the Dallas Cowboys. C.J. Stroud, Tank Dell, and Joe Mixon lead the Texans under the star of Texas for a battle royale to see who's king of the big state. Texans at Cowboys, Monday night at 5:30.
You're home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Happy birthday. We missed it yesterday. Al Michaels, 80. He's doing pretty damn good for 80.
Yeah.
I got no problem with his broadcast. There are some times I think he just got bored over at NBC where you're watching that Sunday Night Football and it's just like, you know.
There were some games that were just bad, and he's at that point in his career now. He just can't pretend that bad games are good.
No.
He just can't.
He ain't making anything up. He ain't lying. He ain't stretching. He's just like, wow, this game sucks, you know. And, that's what we're all thinking. I got no problem with Al Michaels. No problem with Al Michaels. And I feel like he's been doing fine this year. He did pretty good last year. They got some better matchups, so that's helped. But still, he's 80. He's 80 years old. He did Monday Night Football for 20 years. He's been doing it forever. I was a little kid when he did the Miracle on Ice thing in 1980, the Winter Olympics. I actually watched that, saw it live on TV. I remember it like it was yesterday. And every time they replay that audio, I was like, oh, yeah, I remember. I was just like this because, one thing with my OCD, I've mild OCD. And, I had this little color TV back in the bedroom because they didn't want us kids around. They're like, I'll get the hell out of here. Take a TV. Go here, get on. And so I'm watching this thing on this color TV, but there's, for some reason, I don't know why, it was a signal. There's just one line that would go real slow, straight through the screen, all the way down. And then when they're playing hockey, as long as it's up here, I'm like, okay, that's fine. But as the line went down, it's like, I can't see the puck. Oh, God. Come on. And it seemed like it was even slower down at the bottom before it would come back up. And so thank God by the time that goal happened, the line was back up here and I saw the whole thing. I was like, oh,
nice. Yeah. Ooh.
I wanted to see the replay, though. I was screwed. I was like, God damn it. I was a 9-year-old going, God damn it.
The oldest sounding 9-year-old of all time.
You know what? I've always had sort of an older soul on things. I was a grumpy old man at 13. I mean, you've heard the show. You know what I'm talking about.
That's true.
Anyway, so yeah, I got to see that on the TV. And he's been a part of my life since I can remember because he's my dad. No, not really. But he was an ASU guy, He went to ASU. We have a lot in common. He likes steak. I like steak.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't care for vegetables. I'm not against them, but I don't need them.
He just flat out avoids them. Like, man, how have you passed anything in the last however long of your life?
He got to 80. So shut up with you better eat your vegetables. No, look at Al Michaels. He's fine. I could do that.
Nah, I got to eat the veggies, man. Like,
I had a big old salad for lunch because I'd like to poop sometime before Friday.
Yeah, like I get backed up if I don't eat the veggies. I gotta. I don't have a choice.
Big George, there's no problem with George. Stop it. He says, I think the problem with Al Michaels being boring on those NBC broadcasts where it wasn't Al Michaels, but it was the other half, Chris Collinsworth. I noticed Mike Tirico now also sounds boring, and constant in his whole thing has been Chris Collinsworth. I think he's one of those energy-sucking vampires from What We Do in the Shadows. Oh, my God, you're right. He could be.
I don't
Watch
think
for his
Tirico
eyes
sounds
to
more
glow.
boring.
Eh?
I don't think Tirico sounds boring.
No. They get bored with Chris Collinsworth, and it slows down their delivery.
I just haven't felt that way about Tirico. I think
that's something to look into, and also whether or not Keon is one of these energy-sucking vampires too. Look at him sticking up for Chris Collinsworth.
No, I am that. Yeah, no, you don't have to investigate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the show?
No, I haven't actually.
You got to go watch the show.
I know.
It's free,
and I know I would love it too. I just haven't.
Yeah, go all the way back to the beginning. It's funny because my wife, I finally talked her into watching it. And she's like, the first couple of episodes they're a little slow. They're a little slow, and then they start to pick up speed.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I had to talk her into going back. Rye Guy says, I hope Mike Tyson gets in at least one punch or two punch there. Getting hit by 58-year-old Mike Tyson can't feel great. Yeah, that's the thing. You just hope if that's the only thing he can do. And I think he knows that. He's going to go at Jake Paul. Jake Paul's going to run away because Jake Paul knows it's the beginning of the fight where he's the most dangerous. He's going to go in there, and if he can withstand a flurry from Mike Tyson or tire him out by running away, a la Mayweather and Pacquiao, he'll survive the fight. But if he gets punched by Mike Tyson right away, that's what I'm hoping for. I got a vision board. I got pictures. I got string. I got flowers. It's just, it's all I want in life right now. T. Lisha says, saying Jake Paul is getting better as a fighter, it's like saying Watson got better at getting massages. It's really not.
It's not in any way.
I see where you're going with the connection, but it doesn't connect, man.
Like that. It would be like if I don't know. I can't even think of a good example for it. He is improving, but he's not improving against anybody that matters. So who cares?
Swazman says, remember Chris Collinsworth is Captain Obvious. Hey guys, I'm sure this game is going to be won by the victorious team. No. I mean, listen, I think at his age, he starts to sort of brown out a little bit now and then. And that's when those kind of comments start coming out. Ringless Joe says, Stat Pad Scott is out for the season. Where the Cowboys go from here. Stat Pad Scott. How long were you working on that one, Ringos Joe? Cowboys go down.
And I don't is he stat padding? Because like look at what Cooper Rush and Trey Lance managed to accomplish last week. Just a whole bunch of nothing.
He's out for the season, man. He's gone. There ain't no there's no stats, there's no pads, there's no nothing.
I think
there's no hope in Dallas.
The Cowboys were already bad, but without Dak,
they're badder.
We are going to see how much worse that team can look without Dak Prescott. He was the only functioning part of the offense besides him and CD.
Why are you ruining my happy birthday to Al Michaels?
I mean, I didn't do it.
I wasn't really yelling that at anybody specifically.
But happy birthday, Al.
That's all I wanted. Was happy birthday, Al Michaels. That's all I was asking for.
Yeah, and it's the blender.
Hamilton Porter says, "Yeah, that was a good try, but the original was in Detroit. It was Stat Patford." that was
makes
true.
Much more sense.
That was true, and
Well,
it wasn't his fault. He just, he was chucking the ball, doing everything he could, but it was just the rest of the team was bad. I had no problem with Matt Stafford at all. Yeah. So speaking of announcers and stuff, we were talking yesterday. What was it? Michael Strahan. By the way, Michael Strahan had to rough up a reporter in front of his house. Some Daily Mail guy was trying to get in his face with a camera, and he just grabbed his camera and threw it in the bushes. He's like, "Get away!" And then what was the other one? Oh yeah, Beetle with the N-word there. Well, now the tennis channel's got a problem. Tennis channel had to remove an analyst after their comment about Wimbledon champion Barboa. I ain't pronouncing that name. Krejcikova. What happened was he was sitting there. He's ready to go on Zoom, right? He was supposed to be, that's the thing I don't like about TV now. And like COVID's over. Get their ass at a satellite truck or something if you're not going to get them in studio. But everybody's still using the Zoom thing. I say this while on a Zoom YouTube feed.
Yeah, but this is a
radio show. Shut up. Anyway, so he's sitting there getting on the TV. TV is supposed to be bigger. That's all I'm saying. And so he was supposed to join, and he's like, "Yeah, I was supposed to join." And in rehearsal, they're showing us graphics of a player who had just competed, and it showed her an angle that exaggerated her forehead. And a few moments later, they're like, "Hey, you better frame up your Zoom camera there." So he's like, "I looked at the low camera angle, and I joked that it made my forehead resemble the photo of the player in question. Well, I didn't know I was live on air." And so it sounded like, he was making fun of her forehead, which he was, but he didn't know he was on. Yeah. And so then they had to pull him off the air because she got upset. She's like, "Oh, I heard about it." And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, I feel like it's sad that he's going to focus on my appearance rather than my performance." It isn't anything. He just is like, "Oh, look, my forehead looks like the forehead of the picture of the person we just had on here." I mean,
yeah. It's
not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
She has an 11.5 head, not a 4 head, not a 5 head. There's a lot of space up there.
Yeah, but between the eyebrows and her hairline, there's a lot going on. But
he didn't make fun of your bushy caterpillar things there.
This just doesn't feel like anything after what we talked about yesterday with Beetle. This feels like a non-story relative to that.
I think the tennis channel gets that because they're like, well, when the tennis channel became aware of inappropriate comment, we immediately moved him from our air. But John has dedicated his career to shining a light and growing. They don't say that stuff unless you're keeping it.
Yeah.
And so he ain't fired, and she needs to get over it.
Yeah, he's basically suspended until she calms down. That's basically kind of what.
Until everybody forgets.
Yeah, it's just not.
And since it's tennis, he'll be back tomorrow.
It's just not a big enough deal, man. But
she was upset. She was like, "This is not the first time it's happened." It's like, all right, you got a big forehead. Sorry.
I mean,
your shining example is up there when you forget to powder.
Especially if he was live and he said that would be inappropriate if he was actually live and on and said that, but he wasn't. Yeah. So what's I find it hard to believe that she's never joked about the way someone has looked when she thought that they weren't there. I find that difficult to believe that like you can hold someone to that standard, and she's never made fun of anyone ever.
Devil
Are
Hawk
you sure
says
about that?
What is wrong with that comment by the Tennis Channel host? That gets you fired? No, you
Well,
didn't get fired. They
fired.
pulled him off the air because somebody complained and they overreacted, I think.
And the player, well, I don't think the channel overreacted just because, the player has sponsors and the sponsors share a relationship sometimes with the Tennis Channel. So you have similar sponsors. They're just trying to protect their money, so like, all right, let's not tick off the sponsors. Let's hold them out.
Sponsor is all like pro giant forehead.
I don't, it's about the person. They have the,
no, it was about her.
Yeah. It's like,
so she did get butt hurt right away.
Yeah. If any sponsors she has are also sponsors of the Tennis Channel, just don't rock the boat on that. Apologize. Indefinite suspension. He'll be back next week. You saved yourself some grief. It's fine. Nothing's changed here.
Yeah.
So they did what they had to do. He's probably going to be okay. Is he even suspended without pay? He's probably still getting paid. But no one here is hurt.
And it wasn't even his fault. That's the thing. He went live on air without knowing it. So they want to fire somebody, fire a producer or somebody like that.
And that probably did happen.
Ringless Joe, you're fired from the Tennis Channel. He just texted in. You could land a plane on that forehead. See? You're fired, Ringless Joe.
It's just if she is without blame of ever having made fun of somebody, fine. But I find it hard to believe that she's made it to this point in her life and she's never made fun of anybody.
Oh,
at no point.
God, look at her butt.
Come on.
Ski. Yeah, you got to put the ski on. She's Russian. Sorry. Big George says, I don't know how many Russian women are listening right now, but don't they all have big foreheads? No. What are you talking about, George? It's a dominant trait of Russian women, along with having beards and big muscles. What the hell are you watching? That's not true
Big
at all.
George, have you been doing drugs today? This is not like your first text that's just been a little bit not in the range of what we're talking about right now. I don't.
Pickle D says if AD got mad every time someone commented on that massive patch of hair between his eyebrows, whole industry would be in trouble.
You know what he did?
He leaned into it.
He trademarked it.
Yeah, that's right.
He makes money every time someone is making fun of his unibrow.
If you're in a store and you're like just looking around, you're browsing, you got to pay him royalties because like eyebrows. Hamilton Porter says Peyton Manning embraces his forehead. Why can't she do the same? Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about that. Like if you are sensitive about something, you just are. Like whatever. But when someone is joking about you, does it hurt to hear? Yeah. But you don't have to go and be like, oh, it's completely unprofessional and blah, blah, blah. Because I know just human beings, we're like this. We make fun of each other. It's a thing that we do. He made fun of her just kind of innocuously when he thought no one was watching. He didn't cross any lines. He didn't say anything racist. He didn't say anything sexist. That's what I thought I was going to hear when you started telling the story. I was like, oh boy, here it comes.
Here comes another one.
Absolutely horrifically sexist or whatever. Just commented on her forehead, which is not a gendered trait. Anyone can have a big forehead.
Yeah.
Okay. See, look, the problem is she doesn't love herself enough and she's making it everybody else's problem. I don't just
listen. She can wear a bed sheet as a bandana. All right. She knows this because that's her forehead. So, I mean,
just like if you're sensitive about it and you're mad and grumpy, fine. But like you're going to start lashing out and calling somebody unprofessional for something that they did not intend for you to hear. What do you want me to say? You're a professional athlete. I mean, get some thicker skin. You have to.
Especially her forehead is so big that her thoughts start on a Monday, end on a Sunday. That's how big her forehead is.
Wow.
That's
wow. Like like you can't help it. You've got to let that fly. I don't even care to make fun of her forehead, but like, don't act all high and mighty because you just found yourself in a position where you have the moral high ground as the person being made fun of. I don't believe for a second she's never made fun of another person. Never in her whole life. Come on. Be real.
Slow-Mo Zoe says if Mike Tyson does tag Jake Paul, they need to show it in super slow motion. I like the sweat flying off his face and all contorted. Oh, I'm sure they will. Sure they will. Absolutely. Why? Trust me, that'll be on loop. I mean, I'll probably have it on my Twitter on a loop too. Everything. I'll have it on everything in a loop because that's all I'll be able to watch for hours. is just that moment.
Wow. It'll be a 10-second clip, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, I didn't know that this could be 4 hours long.
It would be the best thing ever if he is flattened on his back. Oh. T-Licious says, pencil that Collinsworth needs to move to Monday Night Football. Then I'll watch the Manning cast. No, never have to hear him again. It's not true, man.
They don't do the
Manning
cast
cast
every week.
Yeah, is not every single time. It's not always better. Sometimes there's something going on in the game. You're like, yeah, I need to go over here and actually hear the referees. I got to hear what is really going on.
Something's going on in the game, and we are interviewing the
God
Rock.
help me. I got to hear Joe Buck. I got to hear him do this. Oof. But I don't mind Collinsworth. Randy hates him. Randy can't stand him.
I don't mind him at all.
But he does get sleepy on Sunday Night Football.
He does get sleepy, and he does point out obvious things sometimes, but it's not like the worst thing I've ever heard. I just,
People are looking this gal up now and commenting. And poor girl with her giant forehead. That's not her fault. She didn't ask to have this massive forehead.
I'm keeping it on the point. Like I'm going at her for how she reacted. Like, I just think that's insanely silly and thin-skinned for a professional athlete to do. And I also think that she's being hypocritical.
There's worse things than having a giant forehead.
Yeah, like being a hypocrite.
Devil Hawk's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Big forehead. Pickle D, yeah, it's a big forehead. Ringless Joe says, I noticed Donnie and his Vikings gloating. Yes, he's been very quiet about that lately, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he tried to come in and start saying something about his Timberwolves, but then he was just like, my Timberwolves are they're a mess. Timberwolves are a mess. Big George says, Keon, I threw my back out yesterday. I may or may not be hopped up on icy hot patches.
Yeah, I don't think that causes you to say any of the things that you're saying. So I don't know what's going on.
Oh, hey, Donnie has a comment for you. He says, my team is 7-2, you idiots.
Just fighting for their lives against the Jaguars, man. That's all I remember. That is the lasting impression that I have of your team right now. And I am not even overreacting. I think the Vikings are probably still a good team. That's the image that I have playing in my mind is.
Does it always come down to the version of Darnold you get? Is that the main thing?
I mean, when the competition gets better, that's what it's going to come down to. It's the little mistakes and the little details that are going to win a team, in the playoffs and make or break a season. I think Darnold is not going to be able to keep enough of bad Sam Darnold out of his play for them to do anything in the postseason.
Yeah, Ringless Joe just was wondering about, Donnie's gloating about the Vikings because, losing to the Lions probably broke him.
Yeah, lost a couple in a row and then won against the Jags, but honestly, nobody should have won that game.
On a daily basis, there's something else that breaks Donnie. It's called his mirror. So I don't think it was just the Lions beating the Vikings. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's take a break. We'll come back. We got to get talking some football. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Fanatic is your home for fall football. Catch the NFL and NCAA live games on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by Bet365. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Direct savings and client focus, the cornerstones of the Diamond Dave philosophy.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave Cantor. My team and I at Desert Wholesale Diamond can be your trusted friends with an inside scoop on the diamond world.
Just like they are to thousands of people around the world.
And just like we have been for over 34 years.
At Diamond Dave's, it's all about the diamonds and the savings, not paying for high-end retail locations or the overhead of a mall.
You stand to save big time with our by appointment professional office approach combined with direct importing.
When you choose Diamond Dave's, you choose huge savings, top quality, and excellent service. Call, email, or message us for an in-person appointment.
Or sit back and relax for free FedEx shipping anywhere in the USA.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450. That's 480-397-2450. Or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
In most countries of the world, Porte means door. United Porte Custom Doors, located in the Scottsdale Airport Design District, is now open with over 40,000 European doors, all in stock, ready for delivery, and at wholesale prices. Designers, contractors, builders, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Porte, Porte. Stop by to see and feel the quality at United Porte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's new home for sports.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk some Hall of Fame real fast, shall we? Hall of Fame. I don't know if I agree. Do you agree with all the Hall of Fame nominees?
I actually haven't seen the list.
Okay. So three newest inductees: My Little Pony, Transformers, and a card game called Phase 10. What Hall of Fame do you think we're talking about? We're talking about the National Toy Hall of Fame.
Wow.
My Little Pony came out in 1982. My sister had that. Transformers came out in 1984. Even though I was a kid, I was like, I'll pass on. But then this one, Phase 10 card game. The hell is that? Did you ever play that?
I played Phase 10 like once.
What is it? I know it's a card game, but
I don't really know how to explain the card game because I only played it one time. I wasn't great at it. And
how's it in the Hall of Fame? Does anybody ever play this? Do you play it now?
I was dating somebody whose family, it was big in their family. Like they played Phase 10 all the time and they trash talked and all that stuff. And I was just learning the game, so I didn't do a whole lot. But they're the only folks I really know that played it. So I don't know.
If you're listening and you know about Phase 10, tell me what the hell that's all about. Here are some other finalists that didn't get enough votes: Apples to Apples, Sequence, Pokemon, Choose Your Own Adventure books, Hess Toy Trucks, Remote Control Vehicles, the Stick Horse, the hobby horse, trampolines, and plain old balloons.
Apples to Apples could be borderline, but the idea that Pokemon and Choose Your Own Adventure books aren't first ballot Hall of Famers.
Neither is Phase 10.
I mean, I don't know that much about Phase 10, but like when I was a kid, like everybody was into Pokemon. Like literally all the kids I knew. I don't understand how that works.
Dodger Danny says, "Oh yeah, you got to complete the phase before everyone else does. It's a competitive card game and a lot of fun." What phase? And why is it 10?
Because there are 10 phases. You got to do it 10 times. Don't ask me for how the game really works. I lost aggressively bad when I played. So I am not the person to ask.
Never even seen it. Never even seen it. And I grew up, I was a kid. In 1982, I was 11 years old. So nobody had it that I know. They were just running out of toys to put in there, I think.
I don't think so, because if the votes that were just short, because I've played apples to apples, I know what that is. I've played that many times. I don't know if you can find a millennial that doesn't know what Pokemon is. And choose your own adventure books. Everyone's seen or used the choose your own adventure book.
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah, like how is that?
Should be in there.
Choose your own adventure book should be the next thing. I don't.
Because kids can't relate today. They're like, "What's a book? What is this thing you call book?"
I guess, but this is an all-time Hall of Fame, so it doesn't have to be about what kids like today.
Dodger Danny says phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, phase 6. Do we really need to type out every phase? I kind of get the idea.
But what is involved in every phase? Because I know the
first phase got to get 3 cards alike, then 3 numerically. Second phase for third phase a little. I don't understand. Nothing you're saying is making sense to me. So I don't agree. Just based on the fact I ain't never heard of the damn thing. So there. Raven Kid says, afternoon, guys. I'm nervous about my Ravens this weekend. I haven't even looked at the picks.
I never do. I look at them on Thursday. That's the first time that I have all of that in front of me. The Ravens are taking on the Steelers, who look pretty damn good.
Well, they're 7-2. You're 7-3. Fair enough. They're at home.
Competitive AFC North. This is for the top of the division right here.
Dodger Danny says, I'm going to come to the office with a pack of cards and show you how to play. Well, that's fine because I'm not there. You can show Keon. He loves it.
I played it once. It was all right. I'm good.
Hamilton Porter says, Black Mirror had a choose your own adventure episode. Maybe they'll get it. Pull the Plug says, phase, who cares? Swave Dave says, you ever played Flux? Oh, yeah, that Flux. There are many variations. You can mix and match between decks of cards. Nope. No idea.
I've never heard of that one. I don't know what that is.
Random Texter says, Jeffrey, maybe all your friends had phase 10. They just didn't want to play with you. Possibly.
Yeah, well, then you didn't know what you were missing. So
maybe I'm better off not having played. Scratch Me Because says, Keon's rant reminds me that we've not heard from Texter Poke Your Mom in a while. What? We have a Poke Your Mom?
I guess we do.
Big George says, Donnie, we all know the Vikings will find a way to choke in the playoffs. Missed field goal in the NFC Championship game. Something to ruin their season. And who was it? Somebody else was making the point. Who's at the top of that division right now? Donnie? It's not the Vikings. Who's at the top?
Well, any name he's going to have to say he's not going to like.
Mm-hmm. Flappy Mac says Bone Crusher Smith was an old and knew how to handle Tyson when he was in his prime. Decision. Okay. Swazman says, Jeffrey, I'm 5'6". Some people consider me vertically challenged. You just have to be how God built you and just be yourself. Ask Kyler Murray. Moist One says, sorry for blowing your back out there, George. It's not the only thing he blew. Seller Pop says, what the flux is flux? I don't flucking know.
Boy, you went for the high degree of difficulty there. That could have gone wrong. And well, I was going to say in a bunch of ways, but really just one way that could have gone
all
wrong.
My brain power was hit the L, hit the L, hit the L.
You got to stick the landing there or we are unemployed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am. All right. So let's talk about real football. Although Dolphins Rams, that game Monday night, only 12.2 million people watched it. 12.2. Not great.
Wasn't a great game.
Not great. And
it was okay.
Yeah. I mean, fantasy football ramifications. Remember when I said that? I said the only reason anybody's going to be paying attention to this game is for the fantasy football stuff. Turned out to be interesting.
Yeah.
It was worth seeing, I guess.
And like the second half of the game was better than the first half. I think if the first half were a little cleaner, I think maybe that more people would have watched it.
You're right, Hamilton Porter. It's what I said. 12.2 million watching for their fantasy football team. Absolutely right. And it's probably a section of that going, I want to see Tua get another one. There's some sick bastards out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, 12.2 million viewers.
If both of these teams were healthy all year long and their records made it so that there was some stakes to the game.
Could have been a good game.
Yeah. But
it was not.
Yeah. That's how we got here.
It was ugly. Bat Flipper says Phase 10 was a great game for a drinking game. I just lose that on purpose. Raven Kid says, never heard of Phase 10 in my life. Uno. Got to be on there already. Oh, yeah.
You have to assume.
Yeah, there's no way Uno has not already made the Toy Hall of Fame. By the way, I see no need for a Toy Hall of Fame. Why are we doing this? I don't know.
So that a bunch of toy corporation people can get together and network.
Ooh, I forgot to give away the ASU basketball tickets. We should do that in the next hour. So be listening in the next hour. We're going to do two things. We're going to talk football, and I'm going to give away these ASU basketball tickets. I got a pair of tickets and a parking pass. They could be yours. But we'll probably do it on the text line, but we're not doing it yet. Don't get excited. We'll do it in the next hour. I mean, we could do it on the phone. I don't know what I'm doing yet. You got to be listening to find out. Bat Flipper says Phase 10 comes after virginity. Ravens Kid. Well, it's going to be a while for him then. Beer Bob says, believe the game was only on ESPN this week. So for people like me who don't have the ESPN, couldn't watch it, or nor would I. I think they really messed up when they moved to the cable TV. Well, Beer Bob, you didn't miss much. That's really all I have to say about that.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He'll be back tomorrow, but we got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Ringless Joe says, anyone who complains about Tom Brady commentating a football game has obviously never heard Romo do it. I've heard Romo do it. And I don't think Tom Brady does a very good job either.
I think Brady's worse.
Brady is stiff as hell, a little bit of the Captain Obvious, and just clunky, just sort of like disconnected and like, yeah, I don't think he's very good at all. My wife thinks he does all right.
Romo can be kind of annoying because he's a little over the top and he no longer has that edge of knowing what a play is going to be because the league is changing as he's been removed from the game. But I'll take the personality of Romo over whatever it is that Tom Brady's doing.
Now, Romo gets on my damn nerves, but
I don't.
Brady's.
I mean, I would prefer silence over both. But if I had to choose, I'll take Romo over Brady.
Romo at first, he did great. I was like, all right, that's good stuff. And then later, he just sort of, I don't know, he just changed. He became something else, probably from his disconnect from the game. As time went by, he was no longer a Romo Damas. You know, he was just another guy. But Brady, I don't know. I guess the jury could still be out on him.
It's so stiff and wooden.
Yeah.
When Brady talks, that you're just like, for me personally, that I find far worse.
Yeah, I mean, he's no jujitsu instructor.
That's true, because he'd have been more flexible.
Just saying. 888-368-1580. So somebody planned this. You saw that thing where they somebody burglarized Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce's house?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. Mahomes' mansion got broken into on Sunday, October 6th. Then on Monday, October 7th, they got Kelce's house. And it was all during Monday Night Football when the Chiefs were playing. I think were the Chiefs playing the Saints. But anyway, so they broke into both these houses, knowing Mahomes and Kelce were out of town. And over at Kelce's house, they got $20,000 in cash, presumably just from going through his couch. I found some spare change. But geez, I mean, don't they have security systems?
I mean, I'm sure they do. But
I feel like that's got to be almost an inside job.
Maybe. I mean, it would be worth looking into to see if they had the same security system. Because if they did, you might have a lead there.
But that's the thing, man. When you go on vacation, don't put that on social media. Can't do much about it when people know your job schedule, you know.
Yeah.
But why not have somebody stay at your house? If I were Patrick Mahomes rich or Travis Kelce rich, there'd be a guy at a gate. There'd be a guy in a little hut right there at the end of the driveway. You know, there'd be security, people watching out for your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how they got away with $20,000 in cash without the cops showing up. But yeah, first day, Patrick Mahomes' place got broken into. Next day, Travis Kelce. Feel like they'd have been on guard for the Travis Kelce after Patrick Mahomes' place got busted into.
Well, it depends, because when did anybody know about it? Like if Mahomes' house got broken into and nobody knew that happened, and then they went to Kelce's house, who would be on guard?
That's what I'm saying.
They were gone the whole week.
Yeah, the kind of money these people have. there should be people walking the grounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing is like if you have an alarm system that should have gone off, that should have notified you in some way. Yeah, no, so something's very sketchy about all that.
And I don't care how rich you are. What are you doing with $20,000 lying around?
Cash in your house. Like there's just no reason. Why?
Well, I might need to tip a guy. 20,000?
20 grand?
That's kind of weird. None of my business. So yeah, you might think twice about how you leave things when you're not in town. Nobody was at Kelsey's house?
I guess not. Why would anybody be there?
They always have like people. You know what I mean? Hangers on, assistants, this, that, and the other.
They seem to know that this particular week there wasn't going to be anybody there.
That's why I started thinking inside job.
Yeah, maybe.
Hefty Lefty says Jeffrey sent in a letter of recommendation for Spiro Ditas to take the #1 spot from Nance. Man, he showed up on the I think it was the Cardinals game, and I was like, now it's your turn to suffer, wife, because she, I hate that guy. They were doing the Colts games, him and his numbnut partner, and I hated when they would call Colts games. So then I just laughed and laughed, went outside and grilled some burgers. He's your problem now. Isn't he horrible? Ugh, Spiro Ditas. Anyway, so still people talking about the sun coming into the Dallas Cowboys stadium there, Jerry World. And the only person who is like, I don't even know if he's coming to the defense, but Kellen Moore used to work there. He played and coached in Dallas, and the offensive coordinator. Now he's with the Eagles, and they're like, "Hey, what do you think of that sunlight thing there?" He's like, "Oh yeah. I've been there." He says, stadiums all have different circumstances. That one, the sun plays a decent role, so you just have to call plays according to it. Knowing certain parts of the field at times can be a little challenging. We had it in the first quarter. Towards the end of the first quarter in the red zone, and then the second quarter, then we're going the other way. And he's like, yeah, just something you had to be ready for. Yeah, you didn't have to be. Put some damn tent on the windows.
Yeah.
You didn't have to be. Here's the other thing. People forget. Oh, you only have to deal with that for half of the time. No, you will have to deal with it all the time because the sun is either in the quarterback's eyes or the sun is in the receiver's eyes. Both not optimal.
Yeah. And like if you're going to have to get to the point where you have to call plays around something that is happening in your own building that you can control, what are you hoping to accomplish there?
I know Jerry Jones ain't cheap. He's just dumb. Biscuits and Gravy says, "Can I have the tickets?" What tickets? Do you know the tickets? Do you know what tickets I'm trying to give away? Tell you what, we're going to use the entire hour. Everybody who says, "Hey, I want them ASU tickets," I'll put you into a drawing, random number generator drawing, and then at the end of the hour, we'll decide who. Seems fair. So Biscuits and Gravy, just say, "I want them ASU tickets." That way I can easily find it when I scroll, and I'll put you in the drawing. Devil Hawk says, "Spiro Agnew does football games for CBS. Didn't he resign as Richard Nixon's vice president back in 73? That guy's still alive." Yeah, and he's annoying. He's annoying on the NFL broadcast. Latina Leprechaun says, "Wait, you have ASU and GCU tickets? Oh, I'll do it." No, I don't. Never said that. Said I got the ASU basketball tickets for Sunday versus St. Thomas at 6 p.m.
Nobody has ASU GCU tickets. That's sold out.
Yeah, make sure you're all clear on this. Bama Girl and Biscuits and Gravy and Raven Kid. Just make sure you got a clear picture here, okay? D-Banks After Dark says, "New State Farm insurance commercial coverage coming soon for Patrick and Travis." Well, they do have insurance, but isn't that car insurance? Or did they bundle?
That's the thing.
Did they bundle it?
You can get how
did they get a bundle Rooski?
Maybe.
I've got cash money. It says neither of them have State Farm insurance.
which is like just a real shame. How can you be the spokesperson of an insurance company and not be given the insurance of the insurance company?
Hold on a second. Latina Leprechaun, why are you trying to win tickets if you have tickets? She says, oh, I got ASU tickets for Saturday for St. Thomas as well. What? This is basketball. Saturday's basketball. I'm sorry, Saturday's football. Sunday is basketball. Can you check that, or am I saying it wrong?
Yeah, I'm good.
And then she says, I'm a season ticket holder at the old Desert Financial Arena. You don't need to win tickets if you already have tickets.
That's why she was wondering if it was the GCU.
Well, GCU's tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow night, and that's also at the Footprint Center. So she's got ASU tickets covered, but she thought that the tickets you were giving away were ASU GCU, and we've cleared that up. And
let me be clear.
This game is Sunday.
Versus St. Thomas, 6 p.m. ASU basketball. So 0465, I see you, and I got you. Let's see here. Anyway, so Kellen Moore, he chimed in not to say Jerry Jones is a bonehead, just to say it's a fact and you deal with it.
Yeah, and like the reason why you say that if you're Kellen Moore and not point out how obviously stupid this is because one day you might work in that building again. You just never know how things shake out in the NFL. You don't want to burn any bridges.
It doesn't give you an advantage. The only advantage is you're more used to working out guess we have to do some different plays now. That's not an advantage. That's not helpful.
Yeah, and especially, and there are going to be games where you're home, but you're the underdog. You may not be the better team. So the team that's at the most disadvantage, if you're both dealing with the Sun, is you. The team that's better. All right, well, okay, we don't want to deal with the Sun there. Let's just play power football and run. We're on the 5. Let's just run into the end zone. Now we haven't dealt with the Sun at all. You, being the worst team, might need some plays that have more options, and now you have to deal with the Sun. There's ways in which that's just a complete disadvantage for you and not at all for your opponent, depending on how they play.
Latina Leprechaun says, oh, Keon, you're right. Yep. He says, my apologies. I misunderstood. She says, I guess if the ASU game's at Foot Fungus, my season tickets don't cover it, so I'll be a girl on the side of the road holding a sign saying, I need tickets.
Best of luck to you.
Don't get in anybody's car, though.
I think that's fair to say.
Hefty Lefty says, Kellen Moore said, the sun is nothing. You ever see the sun reflect off of a blue field?
That's true. Kellen Moore also played at Boise State.
Oof. This man's been abused. How do we feel like he's doing for the Eagles? Pretty good now. It was a little rough there at first.
Yeah, it was a shaky start, but they're starting to get used to his play calling, and I think that he's also been a lot better about running the football and establishing the run. You got Saquon Barkley, you might as well use it.
Let's talk about coaches saying dumb things for a moment. Let's talk about Mike McDaniel. I'm getting the idea that Mike McDaniel doesn't really care about Tua Tagovailoa's health. And it's based on things like this. They're like, hey, remember in Tua there, tried to tackle the guy with his head, and he got kicked in the head. What was his name? Rumbla Dumbla? Rambla Blambla? What was that guy's name again? That kicked him in the head? Oh,
I don't know the name of the player.
Well, the business guy. Yeah. Anyway, so he's like, hey, what did you say to him about that? Like, knock it off? He's like, no, I didn't waste much time saying anything to him. He said he can't just think about his ability to stay healthy when he has the ball. He also, when you're trying to make a tackle, I told him, though, don't close your eyes next time. But yeah, I think he could also prevent that from occurring by don't throw it to the other team, which he knows as well. I think there's always things to improve upon and learn from, and definitely he had a learning moment there. So that's the way I'm Mike McDaniel. I'm like, hey, Tua, you got a second? Let's come to my office. Mm-hmm. Please don't do that ever again. Are you crazy? You're going to get killed.
Even if you're just a selfish person and you're completely self-interested, your coaching tenure in Miami is connected to Tua Tagovailoa. If there's no Tua, we already saw what the Dolphins looked like earlier this year when there was no Tua. That's not pretty. None of your plays work if Tua's not out there.
I think Mike McDaniel might be a little bit on the spectrum, because if he has this sort of a disconnect emotionally from seeing a guy in the fencing position several times, and and Keon's right, your employment is connected to this situation as well. Yeah, I didn't waste much time saying anything to him.
How about
you need to care?
How about don't try to tackle anybody?
You need to care.
You throw an interception, you let everybody else handle it, or it's a pick six, but you're not getting involved. You're not getting in the mix because you don't make great decisions when it comes to protecting your head.
Hefty Lefty says McDaniels just tossed Tua Jewel, told him to take 2 puffs, and then gave him a new play call.
Take this Zinni, Tua.
Yeah. Worked for Baker. No, was that Baker or was that Gardner Minshew? It was Gardner Minshew.
I mean, it was Baker too. Baker had one, and then Jim Harbaugh, interestingly enough.
Wow.
Just stuck an entire Zin pouch in his mouth.
Latina Leprechaun says, I don't think I want to watch any more Miami Dolphins games this year. I'm worried I'm going to see a guy get killed in the field with the way he plays. Yeah,
I think that's a genuine concern. Like nobody
should be
wants
more
to
of a concern
see
for
that.
Mike McDaniel than it seems. Though.
Yeah, the guy that's got an actual working relationship with him. Yeah, that should be more higher up on the list.
Tagovailoa might be annoyed with the press and everybody asking him questions, everybody having comments. But Mike McDaniel, bring him in your office. You close the door, say, "Hey, come on, man. I'm really worried about you. I know you've heard enough of this, but please don't do that. Please don't do that. If you throw a pick, you're not the one that's going to get the stop. Don't even try to be a body sort of in the way, because you could take a hit from somebody trying to block you. Because at that point now, you could end up the victim of a blindside block. You could get tangled up with somebody. If there's a big pile, you could be stepped on. There's so many things that can go wrong for a quarterback after a turnover. Best thing to do is don't.
I remember one time Peyton threw an interception, Peyton Manning, and it was a pick six. Peyton tried to make a tackle, didn't even really get close. And Tony Dungy was on the sideline like, what are you doing? Yep. Do you know how screwed we are if you get hurt? Don't ever do that again. Just let him have the pick six. How bad could that really be compared to you try to tackle the guy? Let's say you succeed. Yeah. Let's say you stop him from actually scoring, but now you're
gonna hurt.
Don't do that. Don't make a bad situation worse.
And Dungy knew. Dungy probably went pale. See, all right, that was my job.
Saw his career flash before his eyes, like Michelle
the Colts went through to get this guy, and now he's like, oh God. Latina Leprechaun says, Jeffrey, you're making way too much sense to be an NFL head coach. Damn it. I don't think I was really up for the position. Although I feel like I could do better than some of these guys.
And also I mentioned for Tony Dungy, like the NFL head coaches aren't all thinking like Mike McDaniel.
I think Mike McDaniel's just kind of disconnected there. He's connected, but disconnected. He's connected in weird ways. And boy, unless he's just trying to, in front of the press, kind of give that same, we don't care, because that's what Tua did.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it is. It's like it's the united front. We're going to tell the press this so that they can kind of get off your back a little bit. But seriously, dude, don't do that. I mean, maybe that happened, but we can only operate on the information that we have, and that's what he told the media.
Lost Toby thinks McDaniel's a lot on the spectrum. No, he's, maybe. A lot of guys are. I'm not saying that as an insult to anyone on the spectrum. I'm just saying about sometimes people on the spectrum have that sort of emotional disconnect, or at least the appearance of that, He's just sort of like, I'm here to do, this is my job, and the way he sees things and thinks about things. And I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's possible.
Raven Kid says, I want those ASU tickets. Yeah, but texting it like 4 times does not help you win. I don't know what your strategy is here, but I got it. So thanks. Lost Toby says, McDaniels was a Make-A-Wish kid that got magically cured, and he stayed a coach.
I don't know,
man.
He
does have that look.
I mean, if you're just going to say he looks like that, but the guy is really smart.
No, he's just a very good coach. He's very smart, but
maybe not the most emotionally intelligent, but his football IQ's off the charts. So
he's one of them guys. All right, let's take a break and come back and talk more football. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, brought to you by GBank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval, terms and conditions apply.
The latest Super Bowl odds now that week number 10 in the NFL has been completed. The only unbeaten team in the league, the Kansas City Chiefs, betting favorites to win their third straight Super Bowl. Chiefs at plus 375. The Detroit Lions, who have the best record in the NFC, are plus 425. Lions trying to win their first ever Super Bowl in franchise history. The Baltimore Ravens are plus 550 to hoist the Vince Lombardi Trophy in New Orleans. The Buffalo Bills on top of the AFC East are plus 750. And the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers both plus 1,000 to win Super Bowl 59. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display. Plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more. All at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
It's fall football season, and Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is doubling down. Now with two Valley locations. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on their Asian-inspired comfort food like Korean steak tacos, Mongolian barbecue ribs, and signature Wagyu beef sliders. Always a memorable dinner, or catch the game and a bite at the bar at Kasai. Now the 2 locations, Scottsdale Road in Thunderbird and in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's Kasai Teppan.com, or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
Sunday afternoon, catch live NFL coverage on The Fanatic.
Sunday afternoon, the Falcons fly into the Mile High City looking for another win. But the Broncos, fresh off of a close one against the Chiefs, stake their claim to their home field. Falcons at Broncos, 2 p.m. on The Fanatic.
Your home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, here's another coach saying something kind of dumb. Dan Campbell says about Jared Goff, oh, yeah, I got no concern over those 5 interceptions. He didn't play a bad game. What?
No, that I agree with that.
5 interceptions, that's a bad game. I don't care at what point.
I'd
be concerned that he threw 5 interceptions and made 5 dumb decisions.
But he didn't. Like you were talking about earlier this week about the stat that would not credit quarterbacks with interceptions that weren't their fault.
Okay,
I think
you
3 to 4,
take away 2, 3 interceptions,
3, maybe even 4, because 2 of those were just
a bad game.
It's a bad game, but like he wasn't making bad decisions.
You're saying 4 of those weren't his fault.
Yeah, I looked at them and I was like, those Some of these were just the flukiest, like guy tips it at the line and then another guy comes from behind and intercepts it. There's another one, receiver goes the wrong way and it's an interception. Like it just wasn't all him. The stat sheet is going to show Jared Goff had the worst quarterbacking game ever.
Every time I turned around, he's giving the ball to another guy.
I understand,
Some
but
of it did not make sense.
But it wasn't like Jared Goff made 5 bad decisions. And that's where there were 5 interceptions. It just wasn't that. And
Campbell says everybody's going to think we're crazy, going to think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, he didn't play a bad game. He played a pretty good game.
If you go back and watch the film, and they know because it's their plays and it's their design. Was everybody supposed to be was everybody where they were supposed to be? Did everybody line up where they were supposed to be? Did everybody run the routes they were supposed to run? And then, of course, like some of the tip stuff, like there was 2 of those. That's not Jared Goff making a bad decision. It was just 2 tipped interceptions. What are you supposed to do there?
Let me take a look here. I just got to see when I need him. He's my backup quarterback, damn it.
It's just, I get that. But like
not this week.
Jared Goff for the last 2 seasons hasn't had a game like this. This is an outlier. This isn't Jared Goff making bad decisions. I'm sorry.
Did I already play Jared Goff? When did the Eagles have a bye week? I must have. Yeah, I get. Oh, you know what happened is so here I am. Expert at the draft. I draft Jalen Hurts and Jared Goff. I'm like, aha, that is a good backup. They both have the same bye week.
That happens sometimes.
I don't know what I did that week. I must have just gone and grabbed anyone and everyone, but it doesn't even show me. Let me see who did I have? Oh man, I don't have time for this. So yeah, I guess I could get rid of Jared Goff anytime I want now. I don't know if should I keep him or you should probably keep him.
Well, yeah, because if something were to happen to your starter, then you'd still need a backup.
I'm going to explore better ones because
you think he's going to do that again?
No.
He's largely had a great season.
No. Okay. Don't be so sensitive. I'm not going after him. I'm just saying there might be better available. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. He's had a couple of near 40.
Here's his scores. And Jalen Hurts has been way better. And
because as Scott the King says, he's got the rushing upside.
All right. So here's Goff. His first couple of weeks, 17 points, 14 points, then 20 points. Then week 4 against Seattle, because they stink, 36 points. Then against Dallas, because they stink, 40 points. Then against Minnesota, which, by the way, they beat Minnesota. So he had 25 points there. Didn't need much to beat Minnesota. And then Tennessee, 22 points. Green Bay, 13. Houston, 14. So he's started going back the other way for whatever reason.
Well, the Houston game obviously was the 5 interception game. So that's how you get the 13.
No, I got that.
But the week before, they just ran the football. They didn't need to throw. So that wasn't him being bad or trying.
I know, but that doesn't do me any good in fantasy football. So I don't know. I'm going to see if somebody's more consistent. I like consistency.
Okay.
Although I say that from 8th place. I like consistency in players.
But you had injuries.
You know,
you would have had consistent players.
I've had
if they were
2
healthy.
very close games where just one thing goes the other way and I would have won. I should be 6-4 instead of 4-6, but whatever. Here I am. And so, yeah, I gotta think about maybe who's out there that's more consistent. Here's my choices. Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott, Caleb Williams. Well, I guess I'm going to stick with Jared Goff.
Not a whole lot of great options going on over there. Yeah.
After that, Derek Carr, Justin Fields, Drake May, Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson, Gardner Minshew.
2 of those guys are.
Who the hell in our league has 3 or 4 quarterbacks?
Not me.
We're a 12-team league, so I guess, all right, fine. Forget it. Big George's programming question. Oh, God damn it. One. He says, since tomorrow's a full show due to the GCU broadcast on the Fanatic, will Scott the King be on at his normal time at 5 p.m.? Yes. He will be on, and we're not going to tell him, but he might be on a few more minutes than last time. See if he notices. Usually he goes from 5 till 5:30, and if he starts to trickle in 5:32, 5:33, he might be confused.
Just
we'll get all the answers will come for all the questions. But yeah, he'll be on. Don't nobody tell him. See if he notices. All right. So, okay. Maybe you can agree with this. And it's not a dumb thing to say if you're trying to keep your job, but man, this could be a lie too big. Joe Schoen, for the GM for the Giants. Yeah, you say his name? Schoen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joe Schoen. He's like, oh, we're not too far off.
Wow.
What? Oh, yeah. He actually said that out loud with his mouth. Direct quote.
Oh, man.
He says, I'm excited about the young players that we have. The build is tough. It hurts sometimes. You're going through it, but you got to go through it and get to the other side. I like the foundation we put in place here. And no, I don't think this team is not too far off. I think we got a winner here. He also said the other day, he's like, oh, yeah, I'll be here next year.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so.
Wow.
That man is the greatest thing to ever happen to the Giants.
Hey,
God bless him.
I don't know what kind of voodoo you got on Mara, but
I just keep working it. Just keep working it.
That's a lie too big, though.
That is a bridge too far. Yeah, I mean,
we're not that far off.
Oh, I love the Giants. They're great.
Ziggy wants to give me Matt Stafford in exchange for Jared Goff. No.
Yeah, time to pull up the Stafford numbers and find out that those haven't looked great either.
Those are inconsistent to be sure. But
Jeffrey just said, I like consistency. And then he offered you Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford is been consistently below 30 points, except for the game against, guess who? Minnesota. Jesus, start every quarterback against the Twins, against the Vikings. Yeah, he had 12 points against Miami, 25 against Seattle, 35 against the Vikings, 5 against Las Vegas. What the hell happened there? And then 17 against Green Bay and San Francisco, 7 against the Bears, 8 against the Cardinals. Yeah, I'm going to say no. God help me, but I feel like Kyler Murray's a good play, except for not this week. Yeah. Kyler Murray's getting hot, except for, boy, he only had 6 points against the Bears.
Yeah, they ran the ball.
That's right.
They didn't really need Kyler that game.
Boy, but I would actually consider a trade. Jared Goff, I would take Kyler Murray over Jared Goff. I think the only reason Ziggy's playing Matt Stafford this week is because it's a bye week for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to give up Kyler because the same reason you wouldn't give up Jalen. If a guy can rush, you just don't do it.
Swuzman says, wow, the last time Keon laughed that hard was last week when I said Ohio State would be in the final championship game.
Which is not quite as funny, but that's still pretty funny.
Jonesy says, sounds like what the ASU students are emailing U of A about in regards to UA's football coach. If you haven't heard about the story, you're welcome. I haven't. Still don't know what you're talking about. ASU students are emailing U Arizona? First off, I think ASU students are smart enough to know that U Arizona students can't read. So that's just a waste of paper if they're actually mailing anything. So I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Jonesy. Big George says, Jeffrey, I've got Brock Purdy in League One. If you want to, I can't trade from league to league, George. See, that thinking right there is why you're still not in Premier League. So
oh, that's 2 size.
Yeah, I know, because I just got to the Colts stories.
Yeah. I heard the depression.
You talk about it, because it doesn't make, I can't. It's just Shane Steichen going out there trying to explain why Anthony Richardson, he's earned his starting. No, he didn't. Somebody told you, no, we can't do that. You better just put the Anthony Richardson back in there, get him some reps. We're not going to the playoffs. Let's just do things. We could go to the playoffs. We could, if they'd win out or something. Can't do that with Flacco. So might as well put Richardson back in. What was the reason for taking him out? It still exists. So here's the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's Steichen. I don't know if it's Chris Ballard. I don't know if it's Jim Irsay. But I feel like what happened here is Jim Irsay walked back in the room and says, no. This is bad for ticket sales. Get Richardson back in there. People want to at least see what's going on there. And I want to see what's going on there. And then the worst thing that happens is we have a bad record and a good draft pick. And then he walks out of the room. And we're, the GM probably was like, I feel like Richardson should sit behind Flacco. We should take the L's while he sits there and learns. Steichen probably agrees with Ballard. Irsay comes stumbling in the room, high on peyote, and decides, this is what we're doing.
I think that's exactly what happened.
My team cannot be taken seriously. These are not serious people.
I actually don't think the coach and the GM are bad. It's just that if the owner gets what he wants, if he says you're playing Richardson, you're playing Richardson, and you got to go out there and lie. You can't go out there and say, look, it came from on top that they were supposed to play Anthony Richardson, because if he goes out there and he looks bad, now everybody's mad at Irsay, and you've just made your boss look bad, which is a really good way to no longer have a boss because you don't have a job anymore. So like that, Steichen's got to go out there and lie. But I feel bad for the guy because I don't think he actually wants to play Anthony Richardson right now.
How dumb? How dumb? How dumb is the writer in the press who says the decision from Steichen felt especially shocking? Well, how dumb are you to think that was his decision?
Yeah.
It wasn't his. It wasn't Ballard. It was Irsay, 100%. Guaranteed.
Might want to do a little bit more journalism there.
I would bet your children's life on it.
Ask around and see where that mandate came from. I'd be willing to bet that someone will let you know. This is a Jim Irsay idea.
Steichen is going home at night and checking Indeed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's looking for jobs.
It's like, where can I be an offensive coordinator next? Because that's my next job.
Chris Ballard already has his next job probably lined up because he's even came out and said, yeah, I'll probably get fired. Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah. He's like, look, I did the best I could.
Yeah, what are you going to do? And then the rest of that sentence was, I best I could do with this owner. I almost guarantee you that's the rest of that sentence.
Yeah. Like sometimes that's just what it is. Like I felt kind of bad for Dave Canales because he got his shot to be an NFL head coach, but the Panthers were the team that was available. He wasn't high on anybody's list. So you're like, all right, let's see if I can make this work with the Panthers and my meddling owner. And it's not exactly working, but like how much of that is his fault?
Colts cannot be taken seriously. No matter who is responsible for that, they can't be taken seriously.
Yeah.
And it pains me. It pains me. Makes me sad. Oh, well. And
having an unserious sports team is just a bad feeling in general.
I mean, we should have kept Gardner Minshew and let Anthony Richardson sit behind him. We would have had similar results. We'd be no worse off. And whether you're learning from Flacco or you're learning from Minshew, doesn't matter. Maybe they let Minshew go because Minshew was like, hey, I got a career. I could probably still do it. Oops, I was wrong. By the way, the Raiders say they're sticking with Gardner Minshew at starting quarterback. You know why? Because they can't be taken seriously either.
Well, I don't know about that. They just don't have any other options. Who else are they throwing out there? Aiden O'Connell again? Gardner is the best quarterback on the roster.
Now, if you want draft picks, he's slightly more dangerous to give you a win.
Yeah, but the thing is, you also don't want to lose the locker room. You do need those guys and some of these guys to trust you and buy into what you're trying to do next year too. If you got to walk a line of looking like you're trying, and that is what Gardner Minshew gives you.
Moiswin says, "What about Purdy?" I'd think about that.
That's
Brock Purdy for Matthew Stafford,
because Purdy does put up enough numbers.
Well, yeah, he's had way more games over 30 points. Yeah, I'll trade you Brock Purdy for for Jared Goff. I would do that. Jonesy says they're acting like you Arizona students and trying to influence the athletic department to keep our trash ass football coach. Oh, that is funny. That's funny.
I thought I wouldn't laugh as hard as I laughed at the Giants again. No,
that's amazing. We should send some of those emails too. I love that. Sorry, Jonesy, but not sorry.
That's funny.
That is good. That was about 1,000 times better than what I thought that was going to be. Well done, ASU. Making me proud. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back with On This Date, Big Georgia sports history, and whatever else we can do. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I don't know, where's the trade, Moisland? I don't see it on there. Better get on that. Smuzzman says, Keon, if you keep laughing so much any harder, you're going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for taunting. No, he did taunt you about the Ohio State thing. And I do feel like he enjoys taunting the New York Football Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. And, well, he can't really do much taunting on the Eagles. But, oh, I'm looking forward to Thursday Night Football, man. Are you looking forward to it, or are you worried about it?
A little bit of both. I'm looking forward to it because I think that the Commanders have been really good this year. I've been impressed by how they've played. They're well coached. They're disciplined. Jaden Daniels looks legit. There's lots of things to be excited about there, but I'm also worried about it because the Eagles are a good team too. And this is for the division right here. It feels like so. I'm not going to be too high or low on it either way because I have gotten more out of this season and from this football team than I ever thought I was going to get this year. So
best year of your Washington football life.
Yeah, I'm just on the ride, man. Like I'm not They lost to the Steelers. I didn't take it that hard because I really just was impressed that they were competitive. I never thought that this team would be that competitive against other good football teams, and they just are.
What do you feel about the fact that, both our teams don't have a bye week until week 14?
Well, having gone through the year now, like I was a little worried about it earlier in the year, but having gone through the year without any real major injuries, it doesn't bother me as much. When the season started, like there's a world where you get hurt early and then the bye week could be that week to recover and get back on track. And it's so late in the year that it doesn't really help you.
888-368-1580. Speaking of injuries, Miles Sanders, he got hurt when the Panthers were in Germany, and it's good news. Turns out he's not hurt. He's not that bad. They say he avoided major injury. He'll be day to day. So I don't know. Not many Panthers fans out there, are there?
Not many, no. And if they are, they've probably given up on the team this season. As
Miles
they
Sanders,
should.
if you're listening, good for you, man.
Because
Miles Sanders' family, if you're listening, good for him.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any Panthers fans listening.
I don't think so. I mean, it's just hard to be a fan of that team right now with the owner in place.
Oh, hey, this is they say this isn't a big deal, but it can't be good. JJ McCarthy had to go under the knife again. He had a second knee surgery. They're like, he left something in there. No, I don't know. Here's what they did. First time they went in there, torn meniscus. And the second one, they're like, there's some swelling in there, probably because of what we left in there.
Well,
I want him to autograph this commemorative helmet, and I had it sitting there, and it fell in. I should have noticed it. It was already swollen, and then we checked the X-rays. We're like, oh my God, it's still in there. So we're gonna take it out, and he's gonna sign it for me, and he'll be fine. So yes, swelling due to commemorative helmet inside. You don't know that's not true.
I don't know that that's not true, but I feel like he would have noticed.
No, that's why they had to do the second surgery.
Well, it took him a long time because like the original surgery was before the season began.
He got a biologic injection. Is he allowed to get that?
I mean, yeah.
Is that on the list of things?
I'm pretty sure that you would double check that with the team and the league if you're going to go under the knife or something like that. Yeah.
Well, okay. So this was just to relieve the swelling, and that doesn't sound great. That doesn't sound great, but they're like, no, he'll be back in time for the 2025 season.
Yeah, it does happen sometimes, and like it's a good thing that they don't need him. He's not playing. They've got Sam Darnold as their bridge quarterback. So they don't need McCarthy out there.
Remind me, when did he hurt himself? Was it in training camp, right?
I think it was in training camp, yeah.
So if the Vikings win a Super Bowl, he doesn't get a ring.
I mean, he would. He's a member of the team.
Yeah. But it's not like he's going to go around going, hey.
Yeah, you normally wouldn't. Same way Carson Wentz was like a member of the Eagles and actually a big reason why they made the playoffs. But the guy that actually won the Lombardi Trophy was Nick Foles.
It's like something you like, I've got it in a drawer somewhere. Sorry. Beer Bob says, I wonder what they left in McCarthy's knee. You definitely know it wasn't a Super Bowl ring. Oh, it's never going to be a Super Bowl ring. Yeah. Silver Pop says, biologic injection. Jeffrey, is that similar to a hot beef injection? It's very similar, yes. But I think he's vegan, so. Seabass says, you take that back, Jeffrey. I'm a big Panthers fan. Oh, that's right. Sorry, Seabass. You're the Panthers fan.
Yeah.
So I'm a long-suffering Carolina sports fan. The only thing we've got going for us is the Carolina Hurricanes, and they don't even represent Charlotte. Over. Do you live in Charlotte? My mom lives there. I was just there. It's a beautiful place. I could live there. I could absolutely live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Says a guy who wasn't there in the middle of the summer with the humidity and the mosquitoes. For the rest of the time, pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm sure.
So Trey McBride might have heard us talking about his galloping hurtling ways. And he came out. He's like, I'm going to try to stop that. He says, I'm trying to stop hurdling the defenders, but it brings a lot of juice. What? Yeah, juice and energy to the team. He says, and I feel it's very contagious. Well, yeah, somebody sees you hurdle somebody and they're like, oh my God. But I don't think that's necessary to get you to win. I don't think that's necessary for Kyler Murray to throw touchdowns or for Marvin Harrison Jr. to catch a ball.
You know what's going to take all of the juice out of your offense? If you get hurt.
He says, I'm trying to stop.
He's one of the most important players on that offense. It's Kyler, it's Marvin Harrison, it's him.
He says it's going to hurt when it doesn't work, But you know what? I think you've overestimated your effect. It's not going to hurt that much. They're going to be like, holy crap, Trey McBride just got taken out. All right, next play. And it also is not helping as much as you think it is. Oh, the boys love it when I do that. Sure, yeah, because it's not them. You're putting your life on the line out there, your livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
Whee! Someone not named me is doing a crazy thing. It's not making the team play better. They're not getting juice or energy from it. That's in your head, kid. Do what Casey Kasem says. Keep both feet on the ground. Just don't be hurdling unless you have to hurdle. There's times where you see a guy down on the ground, you're like, well, I better step over that guy. But if you gotta leap over a guy who's 6 feet tall, who's right in front of you going, hey, what's going on? No, don't hurdle that guy, Trey.
Yeah.
I love the effort. I love the spirit. I love the fact you can do that. That is remarkable, and I have respect for it. But every time you do that, I just, there's some unnecessary risk.
Yeah, you just get a little bit more concerned each time.
You're one of the top receivers. These Cardinals can't afford to lose you. We can afford for you to get stopped a couple of yards. Because, by the way, how much farther do you go after hurdle? You maybe fall a yard forward?
Yeah. Now,
at that point, you're taken out. You might as well just, let's forget those 2 yards.
If it's to pick up a first down, fine. But the guy he hurdled this last week, he'd already picked up the first down.
3 weeks in a row, he's done this.
And at least two of those weeks that I can remember, he already had the first down. So there's no reason to do it.
Yeah. At least he's thinking about it, though.
Yeah. Which is more than a lot of players we could tell you. Like they'll wait till it's too late to have that thought process, but complete the thought process and decide not to.
Well, here's hoping, because they need him. They really, really need him. All right, we better do this. All right, here we go. Time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1899, National League announced that 2 umpires would work each game starting the following season in the year of our Lord, 1900. Why 19K? Up until then, only one. I'm not going to. You used to have 1 umpire in a game until then. Then after that, it was 1952, and they're like, I think we need some more eyes on this. And now they got 4 guys. So it went 1 to 2 to 4. So they keep doubling it.
Can you imagine umpires today, but if they had to watch the whole game by themselves?
I thought you meant like they had to pay attention to the entire 9 innings.
Well, they might not be aware that that's the case, but no, I mean like the whole field as one umpire on the field.
Yeah, that and then you're responsible for everything. Everything that goes wrong is on you, and you're expected to see every angle, everything. I don't know how they do 4. There should be more.
Yeah.
How many do you think? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either, to be honest. Randy would have probably a better idea of where you would need more eyes or where more eyes would be helpful out there.
Well, you got to be careful because then you got one guy saying, hey, this, and the other guy saying something completely different. And then you got contradictions and you have to have a meeting and it takes forever. So,
but if somebody is making a call in their area, if like you're watching, to make sure the ball is fair or foul, you overrule everybody else as far as that goes.
Yeah. Or but I don't know. Maybe it just slows it down a little bit, having conferences or whatever. But 4 umpires. We've had that since 1952. So I guess I figured out that's pretty good. And it's not even about how many. Now the complaints are about the plate judge and what would you say, the guy who's out by second base? Which ones get the most complaints, the most wrong calls? Primarily going to be the guy behind the plate. But after that,
usually, yeah,
it's the guy out there by second base, I think.
Probably.
So, or is the guy by first base who's like, you're out. You're like, what are you talking about? His foot was on the bag. Maybe it's the guy over there.
That's a great question. I don't know who would have the most complaints after. Seems
so. There's 4 guys. They put one by each base, and then the home plate, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you needed more than that. Yeah, you're right. I don't know, but I'm sure it's the first baseman. Whistling Gerbil says it was wherever Angel Hernandez was at. Well, he's retired now, so
yeah. But Angel Hernandez was behind the plate, so
yeah.
Anyway,
so 1899, they upped it to 2, and now it's 4. So I don't know. With the robot umps coming, I don't know.
Yeah, and the robot umps it's basically just a camera attached to a person. Like you still have the umps. There's just also a digital way to double check them.
Well, we'll see how long it takes for that to happen. Robot umps, get them in there. I think everybody be happier. All right, well, that's the end of this. Tomorrow we'll be back. We'll do our Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em picks. And we'll have Scott, the fantasy football king Engel. He'll be on with us, helping you with your fantasy football questions. Even though we got the GCU game versus ASU, at 6:45, we still have the game over on Money Radio. So we're still talking about it, still getting you ready for it. So come on back tomorrow, guys. Week 11 in the NFL starts. It starts right here. It's the Daily Blender here on 15.